where it's like 2 people over there, 2 people here, 1 person here. And then even if I want to be at the computer screen or
6 do all that.
You know what I mean? Like, but you can have 6 people just like interacting, talking about whatever, doing like the little engagement shit. But it just goes to show like you ain't gotta have much, like just a little fucking room and we'll just do what we can with this shit. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. Like this is really a whole room, but everybody doesn't have this. Like I actually have a friend whose room is like this, and he has multiple corners set up as like whole different sets.
Setup,
yeah. So it's kind of like this game. It does give you the option to really create wherever and do whatever. Like I do like that.
It's dope because like I was in set lighting for a while, and still in the union, but like you see these movies, you see these videos or whatever it is, and you're like, damn, they're in the jungle doing this and that,
right?
And it's really just a 20-foot by 20-foot setup, and it just
on
looks
wheels,
like,
and don't nobody know.
Nobody know. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, you really can manipulate people's imagination with your own creativity. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to know it's the same room. They don't have to know, and it's like really, it's us now getting to see it. Like, oh nigga, y'all kept the fucking gate locked, gatekeeping, and it was just this. Like really?
Yeah. It's skill that needs to be done and had to do it, you know, but it's also like, hey, it's an Amazon version that you could do this right now and you could get it started right now today if you want to. Like, and people don't know that.
They don't.
And I think getting in this now, understanding what it takes for like pun per se. Yeah. Illa, all of them, like every single week they there. I'm like, oh, okay. If y'all knew this, you wouldn't want to do this. Like, because they up there tired, this set, the next set. We hear multiple sets in a day. And I'm like, that takes work. It's not, yes, it's sitting down with your friends and having a conversation, but it's real work. Right. And you got to really know a little bit about what you're doing. And you can't just sit behind the mic.
And it's like the physical strain, of course, but like the mental capacity of just like staying, like, because even on the mic or in front of the camera, you have to keep up, like, and try to be sharp. You know what I mean? Like, be sharp with your thoughts and, like, getting it out like, oh, okay, this is my timing. This is it. Like, you're working. Like, your brain is working overtime. It's not like you just sit and chill like, nigga, what you want to eat today, cuz? Like, you know what I mean?
And there are, like, the filler people who do that, but the main people that are like, hey, like, this is my business, or I'm coming on my friend's podcast. This is his business. I have a business that I'm coming on here, and I'm going to talk about my business and then go about my business afterwards. Like, it's all work, but this is our lane. This is our space. So it's different for us.
Isn't it? I would have never. Look, hold on. Let's go. It's Ace Boy Rios. This is Reality Check episode 13, 14, 15. I don't know. But it's an episode, and it's going to be a bomb episode because we got my girl in here, D'Janai. We've been trying to get you over here for a while. Listen, finally got you here.
My hair wasn't done, y'all.
Oh, my God.
Y'all, as black women, y'all know if our hair's not done, I'm not coming looking crazy.
See, that's the thing. So I'm going to get right on you with that because as a black man, black woman over here, you guys always look good. You guys always look good. Like, and I know that you guys have a thing for yourself, what you want to look like, but to us, y'all be looking amazing.
Listen, but sometimes we need to do our edges, and sometimes we need to get our hair pressed, Rios. Like, sometimes the at-home press is not the same as the hot comb and the straightener at the shop. Like,
man. No, I get it. I do get it. But I'm glad that you are here today. You know what I mean? I'm really happy you got to meet my wife for the first time.
She's so nice.
I was so happy about that.
She's so nice.
Why were you at the door? I thought it was her. But you guys came
when she pulled up, I saw her, and then I was like, okay, wait, this is the right place. And then I'm reading the street sign. I'm like, it's 15 different street signs in LA. They gonna give me a ticket if I park here. So like, wait, let me figure this out.
It be saying one thing and then say another thing. Like, nigga, what am I supposed to do?
Right. And then she pulled up and she was like, hi. And then she was on the phone. I was like, hi. And she was like, he's in there. And I was like, okay. And then you come. Who's there?
Come to the door loud as hell.
Rios an old man, y'all. Like, he an old man. Who there?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Y'all good? And then we be outside drinking coffee or whatever, and she gets mad. She doesn't get mad, but I talk to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like older people in the neighborhood, like, what's up, man? What's going on? How y'all doing? She'd be like,
she like me then. Because I'd be like,
gonna talk to everybody. You know, talk to, like, hey, man, you got to know what's going on in the neighborhood.
You don't people watch Rios?
I love people watching. That, like,
quietly.
I do it quietly, but if you get too close to me,
Hey.
I'm gonna talk to you. Like if I take the kids to like amusement parks,
Yeah.
like my whole shit is eating, like even traveling, like going like wherever we go. My excitement is sitting down, eating, and just like chilling, watching shit. Everybody wants to be like doing things. I want to experience the food and watch people and laugh and chill out. Like that's my shit. I go to amusement parks and y'all go do whatever the hell y'all want. I'm gonna sit right here.
You know, like I'm an artist, so like my imagination is literally what pays me, you know? So it's so funny, like when people watch, I'm like, you see these people and it's like, I wonder what their name is, and I wonder, what's their story or how they're feeling, like, and you make up all of these things in your head, and it's just like, okay, then I'm never gonna see this person again, like, I hope they have fun. Like,
exactly. Wish them the best. And I was doing, how I used to do the coffee with Rios. I need to do some more of those. But going to like black coffee shops,
right.
and just like giving like a short message or a word of the day or whatnot.
Right.
There's a place in Inglewood called Sip and Sonder.
What is that?
It's like right off of, it's on Market.
Okay.
It's on Market in Inglewood. And I never knew what the word Sonder meant. Like, and so before I went there, I started looking it up, like Sip and Sonder, because I know ponder to like think. I was like, the fuck is Sonder? And I start looking at it, and Sonder is like basically like the moment you realize like the people that you're walking past and by are going through the same human experience as you. Like to Sonder. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, me and D'Janai having the same experience as humans. Like you're having the same struggles, our same successes. We all go through them. You know what I mean? And we share in those trials and tribulations. And I was like, damn, I never knew that that's like what Sonder was. And that's what I like to do. I like to like, it gives me like a connection to everybody, I feel like.
I do talk to random people. I do talk to random people a lot. I think in the past, I want to say the past couple of months, I think like my spirit has been like a little bit more open. So I've kind of been like trying not to talk to random people as much, because the encounters that I've had are like, they're very complete strangers, and then they're personal. Like I was in Staples and I'm printing like hundreds of pages and sorting stuff, and this lady was like, oh, like, can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, what do you need? She was trying to get a letter off her Kaiser app, and she was like, I have to have surgery tomorrow, they need this letter. And I'm like, yeah, let me help you, whatever. And then she was like, I can't get it. So we sitting there making the PDF, and she got a whole list of her private information, and I'm like, I can make it a PDF if you send me the text, but I can't take it off this app because it's the key encryption and all that other stuff. So she's like, okay, here, like, and then she starts talking to me, and she was like, can I ask you something? And I was like, yeah. She's like, what sign are you? And I was like, I'm a Taurus. She was like, you had this energy about you. She was like, my oldest sister is a Taurus, and this, that, and the third. I said, when's her birthday? And then she told me, I said, that's my birthday. And she was like, oh my God. She was like, that's why I felt safe with you. And I'm like, I've never met this lady before, But, and then the surgery she was having, she was like, oh, I'm about to have so-and-so. I was like, yeah, I know some people that had that. She was like, can you tell me what happened? And she was like, I'm so scared. And I'm like, well, don't be like, this is going to happen, and this is what's going to happen afterwards. Like, it's going to be an adjustment, whatever the case may be. I was like, but don't be scared. And she was like, can I hug you? And I'm like, yeah. And she was just crying. And I'm like, this is crazy. We in Staples. Like,
yeah. But when you meet a spirit, you meet a spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I was happy because it was like, when I had that surgery, or the people that I knew had that surgery, there was nobody there for me to have that interaction with. So I was like, I'm glad that I saw you here today, because I was thinking about not going over there, and I was like, no, let me just go do it. They open, and she was right there as soon as I walked in.
And you were exactly what she needed.
Yeah.
You were what she needed at that time, because she probably been having a little bit of fear, a little apprehension, you know what I mean, about the stuff, and not having anybody communicate. So that's a blessing. And that's why I like having those conversations. That's why I like being, because you can speak life into people, you know what I mean? Like, or you can talk them down off the ledge with anything, like just with the kind word, like, damn, I see you, brother, you're doing a good job with your children. I see you being a good dad. Just any like thing, just talking. So what's going on? What's this? And just get that out of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she saw you were a safe place, you know what I mean? A safe space for her.
Which is crazy, because I'm like, how do you know? I guess I've never seen my own aura. Like, I can experience other people's, but I have no idea what it is that people see, what it is that people are like, D'Janai, like, when you come in, you're so bright. Because I will literally go places purposely, black hoodie, black sweats. and try to be a fly on the wall. Not even G'd up, just like, I don't want nobody to see me. Be forgetting like my whole name on the hoodies and pants. And I'll be like, shit. But like, I'm trying to be a fly on the wall.
Right.
And it'll be people from the store. I don't have no idea they know who I am. Hey, you're back. I'm like, hi. Like, no idea. But I think in this world right now, technology and, you know, Postmates, the contactless delivery, you know, like it's made people stop talking to people and stop having conversations, even amongst yourself, because you could be in the house right now.
Yeah.
Your wife not here, your daughter not here. How many words are you actually saying to yourself out loud? You can be here for hours and not say shit.
Not say anything. There's no interactions.
Right. And then people go out in real life and then kind of do the same thing because you figure in social anxiety, like just, I don't know these people.
They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to hear this. They don't.
Right. And then people light up. Like, I love telling random women, like, oh, you look so pretty. Like, you see their face just light up. Like, I saw a guy yesterday in Starbucks. He looked like he was having a long day. And then he walked outside. He had this cool, like, red BMW. I said, you have, like, the coolest sports guy car ever. And he was like, thanks. Like, and he went to work. And I was
you
like,
made his day for sure. That nigga was like, dude, do you know a baddie just told me I got to. But those are important. That's important though. Those interactions are important to get. Like, if you mean to tell me I could say 5 words to somebody and it's gonna make them feel better,
right?
Come on, why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I say it might not even be my favorite car,
right?
But why not tell them, give them a compliment about it? Like, hey, that's a dope ass ride you got there, brother.
Right.
And you saying that to him makes him feel seen.
Yeah. You know? I think that's important. I literally told my lash tech the other day, and she was like, I'm not doing good enough. I said, first of all, you are a single mom. Mm-hmm. You were a great lash tech even before you went to lash tech school. Like, you're just going there to get your certification. Right. So you really just doubling back because the shit that you do right now is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they really can't teach you nothing. They could just give you this paper.
Right.
I'm like, you not only go to school, I said, you still take your clients after hours. I said, this is taking time away from your kid and everything else. I said, you still show up for your kid however necessary, even if you're going to school late, just to make sure you take her. I was like, I see you.
Right.
I know that you can't see out of this couple months that is taking about at least a year out of your life. But I said, I see you. I see you going to the gym. I see you working on yourself. I see you holding your tongue. I see you trying to show up for your daughter where you know that you're not able to and everything else. But I'm like, you're okay. Like, you're doing more than okay. I'm like, I couldn't do this.
Right.
Which is why I don't have kids. Because I'm like, this is my life, my real life. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me, oh, I need you to come do this. And then I'm like, what am I about to do with this kid?
Exactly. Throw that in the mix.
Right. And so I'm like, what you're doing is above and beyond. And I'm like, and I know you feel like you're not doing enough. I'm like, but this is the very end. Like, you already made it.
Right.
You are under the 30-day mark and you're about to get your what is it called when you promote?
Certificate.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, you about to get all of this.
Right.
Like, this past year of not being able to see your daughter, now you could bring your daughter to work with you. Because now when you're there, it's not, oh, babe, I'll be home later or whatever. It's come to the shop with me.
Exactly.
Sit right here. Now you can see what mommy's doing all day.
Because to be a lash tech, you got to have a certification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, the thing is about beauty school that I've learned from my friends, they teach you the basics.
Okay.
Like, so they're not teaching like all this grand stuff that they know how to do or they've learned. It's just like, you know, here's the baseline. Here's a little bit more above the baseline. But like the stuff that's actually going to get you clients, they're not teaching you.
They're not teaching you that.
Not at all. Okay. Not at all. And she needed her certification, but she's like,
she already knew all the shit though. Like, she learned it through life.
She is one of the best lash techs that I've ever met. And I know that because, you know, we're girls, so this is girl language.
It's all good.
When you have lashes, they're not supposed to lash you if you don't have a certain amount of lashes. Mm-hmm. So she knows that I have really bad anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so, like, around the anniversary of my accidents, I start, like, just pulling anxiously, you know? So she'll still get in there and I'm like, I don't even know how you did this, but like, here, I'm gonna pay you extra because I know you shouldn't be lashing me right now. Mm-hmm. But she's like, I know you have to do all of this, so I'm never gonna do nothing to stop your money. Whatever you need, we'll figure it out. We'll grow them back. Like, and that shit is like,
oh, she's a teammate. She's for sure part of the
has gone from
team.
A lash tech to like my real friend. Like,
that's dope.
First, I told her the other day, I said, if something is wrong and your daughter needs something, you have your friends. Like, we have you and we have your daughter. Like, so you call us because you have a village and this is what you're supposed to do. If I say I'm your friend, if your daughter need food, here, Go.
Whatever
don't,
it is,
don't
I got
call your
you.
mama. She at work. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
What else you need? You need me to come pick you up? Okay, cool. Here, I'm on the way. Like, but that's the relationship I have with my friends' kids, because it's like I saw my mom be a single mom, you know, and what we have access to now, how things are a lot more easier for us. It wasn't like that when we was young.
No.
It wasn't like that, like, at all. So I'm like, yeah, whatever you could do, because I'm like, I saw the stress that was put on my mom.
There was no Uber. There was no pick up and get here. There was no just cell phones called. Like, everything was way harder.
I think I got a cell phone in like the 7th, 8th grade. Remember them Verizon phones? Yep. And they had the buttons and we was pushing them. That's what I had. That was my first cell phone. But
the T9 texting, like where you had the 3.
It was so funny. I sent somebody that, he was old, and I had wrote something, and he was like, "What is this?" I said, "Remember how we used to text back in the day?" Right. He was like, "Oh my God."
Right. It's so crazy how far we've come along with technology, and it's just getting faster and faster. You know what I mean? Like, right. But to our parents raising us, like I gave my parents a lot of grace, but once I became a parent, I kind of understood. I was like, oh, this shit is fucking difficult. Yeah. It's not easy. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like I was around. Like, girls are different because you guys are around children. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you guys, your friend has a kid or this and that. Like, you guys are in there, right, you know, as a team. Like, as a guy, it's just like, come on, man. Like, y'all could. But then when I came with dad, I was like, oh.
Now, what's the guy equivalent of that? Because all your homeboys got kids.
So the guy equivalent, like, I feel like us as dads, we get to have more of the fun shit with the kids. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, we get to be
the cool parent.
You know what I mean? Like, say Trey brings Brooke or Pun brings Tay, Manny, Elijah, whatever. It's like we could play basketball, do some shit, just do some cool little shit, right, and keep them occupied with right, just fun shit. Right. And I feel like women have like more.
We got to make sure y'all brush your teeth. Did you actually get in the shower and wash yourself when you got in the shower and sat in that water? Okay, your socks clean. Okay, cool. Your battery's right, charged. Like, did you eat? Like, and y'all gonna be like, let's just go have fun. Like,
so it's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, but life is changing. It's getting easier, like, with access to things, but. Yeah. But with access and with technology comes new problems, right? Like, too much access, availability to too much shit. So I was going to segue into asking you, because I didn't start with saying, how are you doing? How are you? How's your day? How's your week? How's life?
Today has been a good day.
Good.
This week has been a good week. I will say that. How's life? Life is like that meme. You know that meme of that dog, and he's sitting in a room and everything's on fire, and he's like, "This is fine." That's good. That's what life is. But it's just like, okay, this is fine. Like, it's not fine at all, but this is fine. Like, here we go. What are we doing? We gotta go show up, do this afterwards. Okay, cool. After that, I gotta go to work house. This is fine. Here we go. Like, yeah. So that's life right now.
That's life right now. And what are you? So let's get into, like, what are you busy with? What are the details in between the busy? Just working.
So the working is so weird because obviously we are entrepreneurs, and so everything that we're doing is work, mm-hmm, you know. The clothes and stuff, I'm not doing that for myself right now. I'm still running like my clothing orders for like my clients and stuff, like mm-hmm, if they need hoodies and stuff made. But I had to put a pause on all of my like clothing work and everything else because of like the stuff going on with my health. Okay. And it's so much administrative work that has to be done with that. That is like, I got a 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then I got a 5 till my brain won't turn off, and I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You know, okay, doing paperwork, sending emails, calling places, lawyers, doctors, like, so it's just been that. Like,
just been that. So for people that don't know, that are tuning in, that are going to watch, this is my beautiful sister, D'Janai, you know what I mean? And she is amazing, and you may not be able to know, but you've been through a traumatic experience that you won't be able to just tell just by looking at some. This is why I say talking to people is so important. Right. Because just if you were just walking down the street, people would be like, oh, she's a pretty girl, just happy, just walking, looking good. But that's surface. Right. That's surface. Right. You need to ask somebody what's going on, what's their trials and tribulations. So you went through a traumatic. Let's talk. Explain what happened and what brought us to today. You know what I mean? Like,
so today we discussed last night that this is definitely full circle because, like I said, you've seen me on podcasts like with you guys and everything else, but I haven't done a one-on-one podcast since the very first one-on-one podcast I did. And that was the first podcast I ever did.
Okay.
And that was with Aaron Bender. And we were talking about my accident that happened with my teeth. I think this was probably like 6 months after the accident.
Okay.
So now we're talking about 3 years later, the same 30-day kind of thing. We're here doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
And so much has happened. But I fell like this kind of floor like this. I was sitting at my desk like right here and I started feeling like faint. But I've always, you know how you guys joke about like girls having hot showers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I've always taken a hot shower as a kid, you know?
Okay.
So I would get faint when it would be too hot and I would black out. The one time it happened bad, I blacked out very quick and I woke up like on the floor of the shower and like the shower was like the water was on my face.
Your face.
So it woke me up, but it was quick. So I've had that happen, but that same thing happened without the shower. Like
just I was sitting at a desk.
I was at the computer just like that, but I was at the computer for so long. I had woke up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then we got to go run errands and stuff. Did the daytime stuff before they closed, and then I came home and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. Took a nap for like an hour or two, and I was like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna take this course. But I was so excited taking the course because after my accident, it was like all this medication, all this pain. It was an instant life change because it was like at all times something is wrong with my mouth. It's hurting, you know? So I wasn't able to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the morning, my normal capacity, and just work. So I was like, oh, I can do this now? Like, okay, let's do it. So I took the class from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. It was supposed to take like a week. I was like, let's just do
knock this shit out.
Yeah. But I was excited. So I wasn't thinking about nothing. I wasn't eating. I was just drinking water all day. I guess when I got up, I was like, oh, okay, I need to go eat, And I got dizzy. I sat back down. I was like, okay, it's going to pass. Like, it always passes.
Like, because you're used to that feeling. Like, oh, okay, I know what this is. Right. I've measured this before. I've weathered this storm. Yeah.
Right. And so in certain cases where it can happen with the shower, this is just like, oh, D'Janai, you haven't eaten. It's been 12-something hours since you ate. You need to eat. So I try to get up and walk. I probably made it as far as that camera right there. And I was like, oh, something's not right.
Right.
And I told myself, I always tell myself, grab the wall, sit down. In my head, that's what I did.
You did that. In your head, you felt like you did that.
In my head, that's what I did, Rios. And I don't really know how it is that I have this memory, but I'm like, I remember I did it. And I sat on the floor. I don't think that ever happened, but I don't know how I have that memory.
Yeah.
Because what actually happened was I got to the door, I started passing out, and when I tried to grab like the wall, I threw my equilibrium off. And so instead of just like falling like that, I ended up like whiplashing into the floor, but in front of me. So I don't remember any of that. I woke up and it felt like a hand was on the back of my neck and went like that. So I'm on the floor, I turn around, I'm like this, and I'm like, where am I at?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, I never left. I'm at home. Looking around, obviously nobody's there.
Yeah.
Nobody was there. So I don't know what's going on. I see blood and stuff on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? I'm like, did I fall asleep? Now, mind you, I still don't feel nothing. Like, right. And I stood up, and as soon as I stood up, it was my big mirror right there, and I was like, and I, like in the movies, like I did that, and I was like, as soon as I touched it, I was like, and I was like, oh my God, like, and I I feel my teeth and my lips right here. I start pulling them out, panicking. I call my homegirl, and I'm like, I'm not okay. Like, I need you to answer the phone. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I just busted out everything out of my mouth. And nigga, I ain't never broke no bone before, nothing. So I'm like, oh God. So I called my family. They're thinking, oh, D'Janai's playing around. And then they're looking, they're like, what is on your face? Where are your teeth at? Like, what? Like, so then they all freak out. Everybody in the house is awake. They stayed on the phone with me because they like, D'Janai, look at me. And I'm looking, I'm like, what? Like, I'm about to go to the hospital. They're like, you can't go nowhere. They were like, your eyes are rolling in your head. Like, and every time you keep looking like you getting up, like you keep like laying back down. So I crawled in the kitchen to the kitchen, just opened it and grabbed whatever drink I could drink. They're like, go unlock the door now, because they're like, you're gonna pass out.
Because they won't be able to get in. Exactly.
Right. So I'm like, Mom, I gotta clean this up. It's blood everywhere. She's like, sit down. I'm like, I need my computer.
Yeah.
If you finna take me to the hospital, they finna obviously keep me. Like, I need my computer.
You think about work and
yes. I'm like, I was doing something right now. You interrupted my sleep. Like, and they're like, no, come on. So they literally ambulance me. I'm like, give me my backpack, put my iPad, put my computer in here, take me, let's go. They were like, if we had got here 30 minutes later, you'd have been dead. And I'm like, okay, so what happened to me? And they're like, we don't know how you're alive right now.
What?
And I'm like, okay, look, I'm a child of God. Like, don't worry about it. Like, just fix me. Like, what do I need to do? Like, can y'all take this out? Like, do something. Like, let's go. And they're like, no. You don't understand. When people come in here like this, they're not talking. We don't know how you're alive, so we need you to stop talking, because we don't even know how you're alive for real. We don't have no doctor here to find out how you're alive, and we just make sure that you don't die for real. And I'm like,
what?
Well, I'm finna sit on this computer. And I opened up my computer and
So what did they ever, what was the diagnosis? What happened?
So I had to figure out what happened to me. And basically, like, I was dehydrated. Like, I was getting off like my cycle, and I was super, super dehydrated. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that I was dehydrated, because basically they were like, I'm drinking water. What do you mean I'm dehydrated? They're like, you can drink so much water that you deplete your electrolytes. Mm. I was like, okay, I don't play sports. Like, what did you want to give me a Gatorade? Like, and she was like, no, really, like, your electrolytes are very depleted. And they were like, your blood pressure was at like 30 or something like that.
What?
Yeah. Because they were like,
oh yeah, that is death.
Yeah.
Like, your blood. Like, oh shit.
But it was like that.
Because that's so thin.
When I went through everything, like, manically. The computer phone, like, did I take a screenshot? Did I like a picture or something? I remember 3:50 or 3:52 a.m. and then I remember to 4:15 a.m. There's no recollection of anything. There's no
So
call.
that's how long you were out?
22 minutes.
You were out for 22 minutes. Either fainted, knocked yourself out, blood pressure too high, and you woke up. Oh man, that is so crazy. And you were by yourself. Like, thank God that you're here. You know what I mean? Like, that you're here. It's a blessing that you're here. And so from that, damn, you're in the hospital. How long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital, I think, like 15 hours. And I'm like, you guys need to do x-ray. You need to, do a CT scan. I'm like, I know I got a concussion, and the emergency room, how that goes. Yeah. So I'm telling the people, they have put me in a room. I'm like, I am not staying here. Like, y'all are not, this is not where y'all about to fix me. So let me go, Yeah. And they wouldn't. And so when they put me in the room, they're like, we need you to stay here at least to get these couple tests. I said, okay, cool. So I called and asked them when they were going to get the other ones. And then I hear the nurse on the phone. She was like, we're 23 hours behind on this thing. She's not going to get anytime soon. I said, I'm leaving.
I'm out of here.
I'm out. Boy, when I tell you, the whole time I was in there, I was looking at doctors. I found 7 doctors. I called all of them while I was there. I was like, I'll be there in the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
They came pick me up, and I went to 7 different doctors, like, because there was no oral surgeon there. Yeah. So it was like my teeth were hanging out of my mouth. You could see the roots exposed up here because it cut everything up here. And then it was still in they sewed my mouth.
Because they forcefully came out. It wasn't like that they just came out just perfectly pulled. No, they forced the pressure and the leverage, forced them out of your... Yeah.
It forced it, like, I guess when I went down, they went up like this. Mm-hmm. And then one of them shot straight down. 2 of them shot straight down. So they wasn't all the way out, but it was like, oh, I can see a little bit of the root. I'm not supposed to be able to see this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then they had to get what was in my lip, which is why my lip is scarred up right here. And they were like sewing it because it looked crazy. Like, you pulled it and you could see through it. And I was like, what the? They were like, your lip looks like a dog chewed it. And I was like, okay. Shit. But it was very scary. Like, it was the scariest shit that I've ever seen, because I was like, how did this, like, I still don't know how it happened. Yeah. I've gone through great, great, great lengths to find out what had happened, and there's no answer for it.
Does that make you nervous?
Does it make me nervous?
As like if it could possibly happen again?
Oh, I'm always nervous that it'll happen again. I did actually talk to like some mediums, and they were like, hey, a couple people did put voodoo on you, whatever the case may be. And they told me who they were and all of that. Cause I had friends like from like, that are like, you know, Jamaican, Trinidadian, and all that. And they're like, this is voodoo. Like, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to no witches, and I don't want to do all of this right now. You know, like, but when it happened, when I got into the car accident, they're like, look, we not playing this again.
Car accidents post fall.
So
or prior.
March 21st of 2021, I had the accident with my teeth. March 27th, 2023, when I was supposed to get the teeth back, the day that I was supposed to get my teeth back, I got into a car accident after I left the dentist's office. So it was like twice, but both things, I don't remember nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing. And so when I did talk, like I said, I talked to the mediums, and she was like, do you know somebody named or that looks like this? And I'm like, yeah. So they said it was 2 girls and a guy, and they put voodoo on you. And the reason that they kept doing it the second time around for the car accident was she was telling me, she was like, you got broken seriously, publicly. She said, and instead of everybody being like, ew.
They
like,
embraced you. They brought you in.
I've never seen that. And I've talked about this like in podcasts, because it's like when we see people go viral, 9 times out of 10 is some bullshit, some bad shit. You know, you see people saying bad things about them. It was complete strangers, even now today. D'Janai, we love you. We're so happy that you're here. We don't even know you, blah, blah, blah. But your spirit, you're this. And I'm like, it was like 80% love, and the strong 20 was doing the strong 20 what they do. Yeah. And the pictures was going everywhere. And I was like, wow, like there's still like human people out here. Yeah. Like the messages that I've read from complete strangers is crazy. Like, and it's so like just loving. And I'm like, I don't know y'all. Like, how do you know me in the Netherlands? And how do y'all know who I am in Syria and Nigeria? And they writing like, hey, we're here now. Like, we love you. And I'm like, okay. All right.
Because I would say from just the outside, I'll say from the outside looking in, like you embraced your moment. Like you didn't hide your moment. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will go behind the walls, like and suffer in silence or this and that. Like you had the viral photo, right?
Yeah.
The photo, and I guess that leads me to ask you, like, what gave you, or where did the confidence in you come from to say, like, I'm not going to back down or run away from what I went through?
I tried to at first.
Okay.
I tried to. Immediately, as soon as I got out the hospital, like those Asian people, how they had visors?
Yeah.
And they go all over your whole face. I have a black Darth Vader looking one, and I was literally walking around like that. I have footage walking to the doctor's office, and I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I cannot go outside like this, whatever the case may be. I sat in the doctor's office, and I don't know if you've seen Kanye's documentary.
I had
the Genius one?
Yeah. Where his buddy did the document. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So do you remember in the doctor's office, he's like, I need to shoot a music video. I need to go to work, this, that, and the third. And they're like, oh, you're not about to be able to do that no time soon. Yeah. So whatever you got to do is not about to happen. He's like, no, I got to do it. He's like, oh, you're not 6 weeks, whatever, 6 months. And I was like, that's the exact thing that happened to me. I went into the doctor's office. He's like I don't know what he is. His last name is like Polyakov. So, but.
Eastern European.
Yeah, something like that. He was like, are you a celebrity? And I was like, kind of. Like, yeah. Because he's seen all the cameras. Yeah. And I was like, okay, look, but when what are you going to be able to do with my mouth? He was like, you're not going to have teeth for a long time. I said, what? He's like, you're not going to have teeth for at least a year. I said, what? And at that moment, it was like, fuck.
It hit you.
It was like, oh, I can't fix this. Because I'm like, even people get like the flippers and stuff that. Yeah. I smile so damn big. It's like, you'll see all of that. Yeah. I would have seen it, So it was never about what people would see. It was about the fact that for the first time in my life, I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw.
Oh, damn.
I was like,
a whole nother.
I was sad because my teeth, I loved my teeth. My mom told me to take care of them. She's like, you can't have no rotten teeth. Like, so I've always taken care of them. And like, I had just came from the dentist telling them like, hey, I want to make my teeth whiter, whatever the case may be. No cavities, no nothing. And so I've even had doctors like, oh, you want to get veneers? And I'm like, no. And this was before anything ever happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever want veneers. Like, I remember having a conversation with my homeboy specifically before that even happened. And I was like, I'm never getting veneers. Like, I don't ever want to do that.
Yeah.
And then this happened. And so it was like, oh, you're never going to have teeth again, ever. We can't put these teeth back in here. So now you're going to have to explore this option. And I was like, I've always been like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think about me. Like, y'all don't even think about yourselves. And the shit that y'all think is like, I don't care. Like, so this was like, I have to live this. I have to feel this every day. I have to look at myself in the mirror and be scared at what I'm seeing back. Y'all just gotta experience me. Like, if you happen to be around me,
right?
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Fuck this mask. Like,
took the shit off. Exactly.
Took the shit off, and then like I was smiling, and people were like seeing my teeth hanging out of my mouth because they were out. They were still fucked up how they were fucked up in that picture for like a week. So I had to walk around, and I'm just like, hey, and they're like, wait, she's really pretty, and I don't know what happened to her teeth, but why is she really pretty still? And then I took them out, and they were like, you look like your little kid pictures and this, that, and the third. And I was like, fuck it. And I'll like, Keem would come to the house, like make sure I was straight. Like, you know, his mom would make sure I was straight. And I'm like, Keem, I'm finna do it. He's like, what is, you know, what's the perception? Like, what is guys saying? What are girls saying? I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen so many niggas in my inbox ever in my life. I'm like, I don't understand this, and this is weird. And he was like, well, can you take a picture and still make money? I said, yeah. Like, whether I close my mouth or not. I said, but if I really close it, I could take, you know, they won't know. He was like, fuck their heads up. Do it. It's like, okay, bet. Like, fuck it. And I started taking pictures. And just let people say whatever they're going to say. Because it was like behind the scenes, I was already working shit out like to figure it out. So I'm like, I don't care what y'all think about what you think is going on. This is some serious shit going on. So once I finish handling this, I'll tell y'all what happened, and y'all gonna be stupid. I feel stupid. So it's always been that. Like, it's always been that. And I just didn't care. Like, I just didn't care. Like, because it was just like, if I could still be pretty like this, I don't know how. Like, God, I would have definitely asked you to give me something else, but fuck it, I guess. Like,
and so you used it. You used it to keep moving. To keep motion moving forward, for like Keem says, forward motion. You know what I mean? Like a minor setback for a major.
Yeah, this was definitely a major setback, but like I did it, and I mean I'm still doing it because it's like people be thinking because they see these teeth that they're like.
You just only talked about the first portion of what's going on.
Yeah,
that's only the first part. Really, that's chapter 1.
Which is crazy because I am a problem solver. If you come to me and say, D'Janai, I need to do this, and this, I'm be like, okay, like, this person can do this person can do this. I know how to do this. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, this is what you got to do. Okay, boom, there you go. If I'm talking about a problem or dwelling on a problem this long, something is actually very wrong.
Right.
Because I'm the solution-based person. I'm the person that people come to when they don't try to figure it out and they can't. And I'm like, okay, let me figure this out, you know? And generally I do. But with this, it was like, oh, hey, you're not even smart enough to do surgery on yourself, to do all of this stuff that you need. Like, literally money and trustworthy people are the only things that are going to be able to fix this. Only thing. And that was a scary position for me.
Because you had no control.
Because I had no control, but because I had to depend on people for the first time in my life. And I've never been able to depend on people in the capacity that people have been able to depend on me. And so I'm like, this is my smile. This is the first thing I see. Like, I don't care if if people see my butt, I see my smile. Like, this was, since I was a kid, I loved it, you know? And so I'm like, I feel robbed, like, you know, and it's just gone, like, you know? And so that, I still deal with that. Like, I'm just like, okay, I don't know what this new normal is going to be because nothing is set in stone, but I just been on it. Like, it didn't stop. I just worked the algorithm, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you did it. And I was like, this girl is a beast. Like, you are for sure a real ass beast, like a hustler, a mover. You know what I mean? And I commend you for that. And I respect you so much for what you've done and what you've accomplished with what you have. And not allowing yourself to be held down when a lot of people would not do that. You know what I mean? You have like what they say, turn lemons into lemonade.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I want to talk about the continued struggle. You know what I mean? Like the I don't know if we could talk about the surgery and the mishaps with the surgery. If you want to talk about that, if you don't,
no, we can.
We don't have to.
We can.
So you went to have veneers put in?
So no, so that was the common misconception, because everybody, the internet world is veneer.
Mm-hmm.
So what people have to understand about veneers is you have to actually have teeth
for
them to, shave down a little bit
and put them on.
Right.
Okay.
So when I fell, I lost everything from here, like the bottom of my teeth, up until up here where my roots are.
Right.
So I actually lost past my roots because the roots of my teeth that didn't come down went up into my nasal passage.
Holy shit.
So they had to repair from here all the way like down here.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, yeah, you definitely can't just go get veneers like right now. So, and that was another thing too, because I'm like, okay, everybody messed up their tooth, whatever, they go to the doctor, they get it fixed.
Yeah,
they were like,
I'm in the game. I just go do this. It'd be better than what it was.
They were like, that's not your case. And I was like, what? And they were like, we're going to be honest. This is probably one of the worst cases we've ever seen. And everything is gone. And so they had to open me up. And when they opened me up and I woke up from surgery, he was like, look, the only way that I can explain what I saw is like, if you drop a glass on the floor and all of them pieces shatter, he was like, we literally scraped like the shattered teeth just off my gums. They were like, it just was like glass. And I was like, I'm a big bitch. Like, like I'm heavy. Like, so at the time I was like 185. Mm-hmm. So 185 dead weight. And then I'm just sitting there.
On just an inch of space. All that weight on the inches, cubic inch.
Bruh. And then I got the floorboard because I went and sawed the floorboard up out of my thing. So I have the floorboard and you see my teeth in there. Like holes are there. I was like, how did this happen? Like, and the only explanation that I have back to it is my cycle, the dehydration that women experience from that, and then just literally being up over 12 hours, just moving, and it just happened. But they had to regrow my bone.
Okay.
In Harry Potter, when he break his arm and they put her in the lady and his arm was just like this?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. I was like, God, what kind of sick joke is this?
They had to regenerate bone tissue.
Right. So they put they packed it up there and did the sand and like mixed my blood with it and all of that. He's like, okay, you got to sit down for 6 to 8 months. And I'm like, what? I'm telling Keem, like, I'm crying. Like, Keem, like my big brother. So it's like, even if I have to be tough, he knows like, hey, are you okay? Like, you need to like go off for a second. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And I've done that and I broke down and I'm like, I gotta sit down. And he was like, and sit down all 6 months of it. You always getting up doing something. And I'm like, I have to work. You got somebody to pay these bills? Mm-hmm. Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And he's like, you have to sit down. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna sit down with this laptop.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I sat out the 6 months and did it. And then they're like, okay, well, the next process is this. We got to put implants in there.
Okay.
So like, how you got stuff screwed into the walls and everything else? That's the exact same thing with an implant.
Right into the bone.
Yes.
Okay.
Except, unlike the wall, like this, you put a hole in there, it's not right. Okay, get the little sticky patch it back up. You have one shot to do that right.
One shot kill, that's it.
You don't do it right, you're going to fuck up this whole $10,000 surgery that I had to pay for it. So the only way for us to know that it wasn't done right was obviously towards the very end of another 6 to 8 months, So he put the implants in. That was the black guy. He put the implants in because I didn't go.
This is the black doctor.
Yeah, because the European doctor, they don't listen to women in their culture. And so even like Asian, doctors, like when women, you talk to them, they're like, no, and it's like, hey, this is not that, like, no. So he was trying to do my teeth a whole different way, wasn't trying to consider how I wanted it or nothing. But he was like, yes, you can 100% get 4 implants with the bone graft that I did, even if I don't do them. I said, cool, I'm about to go over here. And so my friends had referred me to the Dr. Thomas guy. And he was like, don't worry. He was like, this is going to be easy. He was like, I'll be able to fix your smile prettier than it was before. I said, look, like, don't bullshit me. Like, for real,
don't play with me. Like,
yeah. He's like, no, like, don't worry. I said, I'm scared. He said, no, don't worry. Like, I got you. Like, we'll be okay. I said, I'm going to give you my teeth because you know how like the front teeth are generally like the same. And then the teeth next to it are supposed to be the same. So luckily I had one of each hole. So I gave them the teeth and was like, this is how I want you guys to make my teeth. This exact mock, all the ridges, everything else. So they had them the whole time. Like, okay, boom. He did the implant surgery. I'm asking him the whole time, you know, are you checking my bone? Is it growing right? Is it enough for you guys to do what you need to do? Like, do I need to get another one? He's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He was never checking it, ever. So he was doing physical examinations, and even when I asked for the x-rays and stuff like that, he wasn't monitoring the bone. So the
bone
implant,
growth, yeah.
The implants are there, the implants are in place. That looks like the right place, obviously, to anybody. But the bone, something was wrong with the bone right here. It wasn't growing the same. There wasn't enough. But I don't think that there wasn't enough bone. He shot the implants in wrong. Because if there wasn't enough bone, he shouldn't have shot the implants in at all.
He shot it in at the wrong angle.
Yes. Yes.
Which would make it not be, it would botch everything because you're not going in the right angle. So now you're coming in at this degree, which it slanted.
Exactly how you had your hand is exactly how the teeth he put in my mouth looked.
When he's supposed to go straight the fuck up.
Right. So I have pictures that I haven't put on the internet. And it literally, you see the teeth sticking out of my mouth like this, and you see me like struggling to talk, not able to close my mouth. It looks so weird. Then the teeth that he did, nigga, they didn't look nothing like the teeth that I gave him. Literally nothing. I said, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And he tried to play me, and I didn't know that he was trying to play me. And my friends were like, D'Janai, like, you're trying to hold a space of like respect and like, you know, letting him teach you because he's a doctor and everything. He was like, but we need you to be a little bit mean because like your normal you wouldn't let this fly. So when he showed me 2 sets of crowns, they weren't the shape of my teeth. They were definitely like chiclet looking teeth.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, one is your teeth with no gap and one is your teeth with a gap. Because he was like, which one do you want to do? And at that time, I always had a gap in my teeth since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody's asking me on the internet, are you going to close your gap? Are you going to close your gap? And I went back and forth with it for a while, but I was like, if I'm going to spend this much money,
I'm going to be me.
I was going to get Invisalign with my regular teeth anyway. So it was going to close. So I'm like, okay, let's see what this is like. Boy, when I tell you he put both sets of them teeth in there, they both look the same. I was like, stop fucking playing with me. Like, stop fucking playing with me in this chair right now. You know? Yeah. He's like, okay, like, let's simulate a gap. I'm like, simulate a gap?
Right.
What the fuck is you talking about? And
now you just freestyling.
Right. Because I'm like, now you sweating and now I'm having to pay attention to my big sisters telling me D'Janai pay attention, you know? But I still, in that moment, didn't think, oh, hey, they're scamming me, or, oh, hey, they know that something is wrong that they're not saying is wrong, whatever the case may be.
This motherfucker is fraudulent and negligent.
Right. And so I have the video. Now, mind you, he's like, you know, the internet doctor and everything else. So he lets me tape everything. Then they see girls with big followings and everything else. So they're like, yeah, let's do this, you know? So I've got the whole videotape.
Right.
He's on camera saying, let's simulate this gap, this, that, and the third. I'm in the chair. My hands are like this, and I'm shaking. And like you hear him cutting and everything else. I have a video. It's like sawdust all over my face and my chest right here. He literally got the thing and like the drill and like sawed a hole in here. And I said, what the fuck do you think this is? Like, what are you fucking mental? Like, you know that my teeth don't look like this. Like, so I'm gonna let you appease yourself just so I can get it on camera so you see how stupid you look. But this is not finna work. He's like, look, please keep the teeth in your mouth over the weekend. I said, okay, look, it's Saturday. You came in on a Saturday after hours, you did my teeth, whatever. Rest for the weekend. Monday morning, this shit need to be out of my fucking mouth. Because that was supposed to be, Monday's like my favorite day of the week. That set the tone for the whole week. I planned those surgeries specifically so that I would get my teeth back on the Monday that was the 3-year anniversary of my accident, which was the week prior.
Right.
So because the lab didn't have my teeth done, it ended up going out to the next week, to the 27th. So that was the Monday that was like, okay, this is I'm going to get my life back. I'm not going to tell nobody I got my teeth back yet. I just want to have a normal day before I take any pictures, and obviously got to talk to the internet, you know? Never happened. It never happened. So he went, he put them in, and I'm like, cut this shit out. He cut them out in my mouth. I got videos with, you see the screws that are on the inside of the implant just hanging at the bottom of my mouth. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, well, you know, we cleaned up and all of that.
Wait, let me ask one quick question just so I could stay up to pace with you. So the implants are the actual hardware.
the actual like rods
that are there.
So like the nail that hold the picture frame up. Think of it like that. Okay,
so I don't want people to get confused. So when you're saying take the teeth out, it's not saying take the rods out. It's just like to put the correct teeth onto these rods, because I'm not taking the rods out of my gums. Like those are there. Okay,
so implants are done in 3 parts. It's the screw that they shoot up. It's another piece that's a custom piece. It's called an abutment. And that is to position like your teeth and serve as like the anchor in between the implant that got shut in and the crown, like the tooth is the crown that they're putting on the abutment. So they put the abutments in, but the abutments were like this. Obviously, I don't know because he's just in my mouth doing this. So when he put the crowns on there and cemented them on, I'm like, I can't close my mouth. Like, no, like what? Like,
oh my God!
Right. So those crowns he put in twice, which was painful as fuck, and he knows like I can't even go to the dentist, like, and just listen to the dentist. Like, I can't do that. I gotta put earplugs on. Like, depend on what it is. Like, I gotta take my anxiety medication, or sometimes I gotta put
it's PTSD.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. Like the sound, the feeling, it takes you back to a horror scene.
Yeah, and so the crowns he put into one set, sawed them out till it was literally dust, put in another set, and then sawed it out again. And then I walked out exactly how I walked in, and I was like, okay, so what now? And he was like, I don't know how to fix your teeth. And I said, what? What are you talking about? He was like, I don't know, because I don't know any other labs in the state. He said, the lab that I have right now, he was like, you're one of my celebrity clients. And because I have so many of you guys, you know, I'm giving them a high volume, like I'm paying them a lot. So they're expediting the process for me. Like he said, all the other labs that I know, not only are they not as good as this lab, so the quality is not going to be good. And if you don't like this lab, I don't know what to do. He was like, but every other lab, like in the country, it's going to take a month, 2 months to get your teeth, whatever the case may be. I said, so you don't know anybody else. Like, we over here in Studio City, Beverly Hills is right there. You don't know nobody else. He said, I don't know anybody else. And then I'm like, okay, you need to say this to my sisters so that I know that I'm not crazy tripping, in the event that I like forget something, you know? So I called my sister and said, what did he tell me? He said that was the best lab in the state and there was nothing else. I said, okay, cool. I walked out the office, but he was just like, you know, you may never smile again for real, like, and have teeth like that, because I don't know what to do right now. I'm like, okay, you got paid $40,000 6 months ago for today. You done took everything. Like, I had a whole rollout for the next 60 days to make up the 20, 30, 40,000 that I needed to, for all of that.
To put back into the tank.
Right. And then I got the proof of concept that I actually was able to make that money later on. No teeth, you know? And I left the office. It was sunny. It was bright. I'm driving down Ventura. And it was a truck, like, illegally parked. Like, you know where that Michael's is at? How it, like, curves like this? But you know how, like, cars drift when you... So there was cars on this side. The truck was right there. And I was just sad. I wasn't crying. I was just like... I sat in the car with no music. And I was just like... I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to get food right now. It's like, I'm going to City Walk. I'm going to get food. And I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need to sleep. Turn my phone off. Rios, I was driving. I crossed the intersection. And then it was like a big boom. I don't remember nothing that happened.
Right.
Like, in that thing. Like, so I think, like, you know, like the tip of the car, the back right end of the truck, and the front left end of my car.
Your front fender side.
Yeah.
I'm
like, this is boy language.
Yeah. Your front.
You know, the front on this side
fender.
Yeah. No, the driver's side fender.
Driver's side fender.
Yeah. The car, I'm assuming the car drifted, but at the time I had a Tesla.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it's supposed to lane correct and everything else. It's not supposed to do that. But I think that the sensors didn't go off because it saw this car and then it sees the car right next to me. So it's kind of like, you know, it's not a human being.
And stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
Like,
so I think the car malfunctioned. And they won't give me the report from it. But I'm like, what? I was awake. Yeah. I wasn't sleepy. I was very cognizant of what was going on, because I was like, tomorrow was supposed to be a business day for me.
Yeah.
I was excited. I was like, I get to go work. Like, finally, like, okay. And it never happened. I woke up in the middle. Mind you, when I woke up in the middle of the intersection, I thought I'm still right here. I'm like, oh, maybe I stopped. The intersection is like this. My car was like this. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking this way and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
What the hell just happened?
Bro, it's smoke everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's people, are you okay? And like, you know, in the movies, like you hear that like ringing and then you start hearing, it was exactly like that. And this lady, I forget what her name was. She was like, you're okay. Like, I'm here. And I was like, call my sister right now. Call my sister right now. I'm looking. I'm like, all of my nails are broken off. I'm like, the airbag is deployed. I'm looking. I have on like spandex so you don't see nothing. I'm like, there's blood on my hands. Like the glass.
Burned? The burn, huh?
Man, so this was glass from the windshield, but my legs, like there's burns all over them.
From the airbag.
And I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? Like it got through my leggings and didn't even put a hole in my leggings. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what type of chemical shit is this? Yeah. Bro, it burned my legs up so bad. Everything was burned and bruised. The paramedics came, I guess like, because I got the 911 report. Mm-hmm. 8 strangers, like they called 911. They stayed out there till I left. And when I didn't know, my eyes started rolling in my head again. So she asked me, like, are you okay? Are you going to pass out? I was like, I want to go to Cedars-Sinai. I don't want to go wherever they're about to take me. She told them, take her right now. Like, she's going to pass out. And so they pulled me out this and they put me on a gurney. They put me in a thing. I remember going in and out of consciousness in the ambulance. I remember going to sleep, not purposely. I remember I woke up in the hospital and I'm like, okay, and I go back to sleep. Then I woke up in another room in the hospital and I'm like, how do y'all know what my name is? Like, this is a hospital bed.
Like, what is going on?
And it was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And they thought the officer that came to the scene thought that I was a drug head or like drunk or something like that. Mind you, it's only water in my car. Like, but they saw I didn't have teeth. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, oh, she's on drugs.
They just judged you. Right. They try to judge you book by a cover, like, oh, missing teeth. That's so stupid.
So he actually put on the police report, oh, she has no injuries. And he left.
What?
They actually called me threatening to tow my car. So when I woke up, that's why I woke up in the other room in the hospital. Because I was like, okay, now I'm up. Where am I at? Like, because I'm not going back to sleep now. He's like, we're about to tow your car. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I didn't break a law. So I got in a car accident. I really don't even know where I am. And he was like, well, somebody has to come get your car. So I had somebody come get the car. But he never came to the hospital. So what I didn't know at the time was he was supposed to come to the hospital and find out what happened. Yeah. Don't nobody get in no accident like that. And they just perfectly fine. Yeah. He didn't do none of that. He said nothing happened to me. He went to his next call and was gone. So when I got to the hospital, they thought the same thing. And, you know, I'm in Burbank with a bunch of racist Middle Eastern people. And not all Middle Eastern people are racist, but there are that certain group of people within that community that are like, hey, you're not like us. Like, yeah. And we don't accept you. Whereas some of my best friends were Middle Eastern, and I never felt that way with them. Mm-hmm. There, I was scared. Okay. I was scared. And I was like, it was a guy, he walked in, he saw me on the phone with the police. I said, I'm not on the phone with my friends. I'm on the phone with the police. I need to figure out my car so they don't tow it. I don't know where I am. Can you just please give me a second? He's like, no, you need to come with me. I need to take this imaging, whatever the case may be. If you don't come with me, I'm going to restrain you. Bing. Cool. Rip the IV out my arm. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm refusing service. I'm out. He's like, no, you're not. I said, okay, cool. So he walked in the room with somebody else, and I started lighting them up. Mm-hmm. Pow, pow, pow. Like, I don't even remember this part, but that's what they said. And I remember seeing my hands afterwards. I was like, oh, okay. Like, but I do remember somebody trying to grab me, and he was old, and I'm like, nah, you know? And that turned into 5-6 people in there dragging me out. And I remember vividly, it was this I hate that I remember it vividly, but it was this Middle Eastern guy, and I saw him when I'm struggling like this because they were dragging me. Burned everything. They don't have no idea I'm burned or nothing. And he looked and he went, pow. And I was like, what? And I'm like fighting with them, and they're like, why did you do that to her? Whatever. So then I'm fighting them even more, you know? They dragged me out. As soon as I get back out, I'm videotaping them because now I'm like, okay, I got some kind of sense. You know, I need to see who all these people are. Nigga, I hear clink, clink. And I'm like, the fuck? They called the police. They were like, she's here, she's fighting the staff, this, that, and the third. She's drunk or she's high, this, that, and the third. I'm like, what the fuck? So they put me in the car and they were like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, first of all, why the fuck am I in the back of this car? Second of all, I got in a car accident. They were like, what? And I was like, I got into a car accident. I don't know where I am. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know who you are. But apparently your shit say Burbank PD, so I'm in Burbank. They were like, and he literally looked at me and he said just like that. And I'm like, oh, so you know I got profiled. He was like, they called, they said this. He was like, you're not high, you're not on drugs. He was like, we could breathalyze. I said, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not nothing. And at that point, he was like, I'm not doing that. Like, he was like, where's your sister? And so he called my sister, and she was already there. She was supposed to meet me, and we were gonna go back to my house and eat and go to sleep. And she was already on the way. And so she had to turn around and come back, but she thought that they were gonna take me to Cedars-Sinai like I wanted. They wouldn't tell her where I was at. So when the police called her, she got even more freaked out.
Like, oh, you got arrested, or she's in the jail.
And I walk up, and she walk up, and I'm in cuffs. She's like, what are y'all doing? Like, like it was a whole thing. But that's what happened. And before that guy had walked in there, a girl, you see my arm right here, Rios. Is any scars on there? Nothing. Mm-mm. My arm was just like this. So she went to take a vial of blood. And this is my only, like, really, really good vein that they don't got to fish with. So I always tell them surgery, like, just use this one, please. Like, she put it in. She's like, oh, it's a lot of scar tissue in here. How often do you shoot up? I said, bitch. What? Like, what? And after between that and the guy, it was like right back to back. I was like, I'm out. Like, I'm out.
They set the tone that they weren't going to take care of you.
And then they put battery charges on me. And I had to go to court. And they had a public defender for me. And I had so much information that the DA was like, oh, we have to drop this. Yeah. Because this is our fault. Like,
this is all escalated by us. We didn't handle this properly from the beginning, from the police to the hospital to the... Damn.
And the judge is like, I'm in court in a neck brace. At this point, it's like everything's awesome. I said, Judge, like, I'm like, my arms are bloody. I'm like, my hip, Rios, it looked like I put a soccer ball. I mean, not a soccer ball, a softball in my thing because the seatbelt crushed my hip right here. So it immediately blew up while I was in the hospital. But because I had on black pants, they weren't paying attention to it.
So they're like, this is like the sad, like, it's so crazy because I don't think like this is something that's a rarity. Black women get mistreated very often and try to shut you up and be quiet. We know what we're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. But now you're in pain from your mouth. Now you're in pain from the accident.
There hasn't been a day that since this happened that I haven't experienced pain in some way, some form, whether consciously or subconsciously. I have not experienced a day without pain. And, people see pretty. And I remember Beyonce did that song, like, Pretty Hurts. But we were younger, so we didn't know.
It didn't make sense back then.
It didn't make sense back then. But then people were looking at me and they were like, you're fine. You're fine. And I'm like, I know that you guys see me with no teeth. And you're like, oh, yeah, you're so pretty. But I'm like, the doctor that I found after him, he was like, he was never, ever supposed to let you walk around like that. He said that gap in your mouth could have been the reason that your teeth shifted and we weren't going to be able to shift them back. Right. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And so it's like, I did it just because I'm like, I'm not going to walk around looking stupid with some big ass teeth in my mouth.
Well, first thing is he tried to downplay that any other lab or any other hospital, any other doctor could do it because he didn't want to put his horrible work on Front Street. He didn't want people to see the bad work that he did.
Well, see, at the time, this was before he would even shot the implants in, Okay. So he was checking my mouth, everything else, like giving me like Botox treatments in here to like try to loosen up my gums and stuff like that, or the muscles right here. But he was like, oh, it's fine. But the thing was this, he's an internet doctor. And so the numbers come in. And so I'm like, look, this is what we do. Even now, Rios, this is what you do. This is what we do. Use whatever you need from this interview to get however much, whatever you need, whatever publicity, you got that right. Right. But don't misuse me. Right. And if I'm paying you for a service, treat me like I'm paying you because...
I'm a paying client, like...
And people who help you for free sometimes help you like they're helping you for free.
Right.
So when I tell people, I don't want free help.
Shit. Yeah.
I don't want free help.
Yeah.
I want you to fix me. If I go broke to fix my mouth again, I know I will make it back. Here's however much money you need. You don't got to do no treatment till I pay you. Here you go. And that was how I walked in the door. And he took everything, like with a smile.
So fuck. So with lawsuit, medical expenses, all these expenses piling up, how have you maintained to be able to pay these bills? Like what do you do to substantiate that?
Shit. I did start OnlyFans. I had a conversation with two of my homeboys, Keem and another one that I'm not really cool with right now. Mm-hmm. And we had the conversations because like I was a couple weeks, like back in like 2018 till 2020, I was homeless. I was living in my car.
Okay.
But nobody knew because I was bartending in Penthouse, ballet, all of that, you know. But it was just like, okay, I'm running my race right now. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. As long as I got somewhere to sleep, like I can go to the gym and go shower, fuck it. Like I'm here, I'm at work, you know? And I was making money. Like, so I'm like, I can't work now. Like, and he's like, well, if you don't want to go back to being homeless, you're going to have to get on OnlyFans because you can't work right now. Like your brain is not working.
You're not in the place to fucking work. You're not emotionally, mentally, physically in the state to be working.
Right. And it was days that even when I wanted to try to be, I couldn't. Like my brain works like a computer. Like literally you could tell me something and I'm like, just in my head talking to you, but still calculating in my head. Like I calculate in my sleep now, like, you know, and it was like, you got to take these pictures and you have to do it because I got out the hospital. Rios Ep gave me over $200,000 worth of estimates. Really, it was like close to $300,000 because one doctor gave me a $97,000 estimate and they were like, look, we could put these implants in your mouth, but if for any reason the implants don't work, they also have to match with the rest of your teeth. So just so you know, if it doesn't work and they fail, we're going to have to give you a whole mouth of veneers. I'm like, dog.
Damn.
So that was $100,000 and that was just one surgery.
Just one.
I'm like, nigga, okay, let's figure this out.
Like, hold on. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, so it was just, everything has just been everywhere. But I got on OnlyFans. I cleared like almost $200K on there. And I was paying every fucking dime. Like the first surgery was like $10,000. Here, swipe the credit card. I'm paid. Like the next surgery, another $3,000 because they didn't do what they were supposed to do in the first surgery, thinking that I didn't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, my tooth hurts. Pull all four of them. They're like, no, we want to try to save it. I'm like, I don't need you to try to save anything. Pull the fourth fucking tooth so it looks even. Yeah. And like, let's figure this out from there. That ended up being 2 surgeries. So what? Now we're talking about almost $14,000. Not to mention like the post-surgery costs, shit like that. Then 6 to 8 months, you know, I'm paying insurance after that, $300-$400 a month, and like I spent like over $80,000. Like every dollar I made from OnlyFans went to that. But on my teeth and surgery alone, and surgery and insurance, I spent over $80,000.
Damn.
And that came out of my pocket, like, and so it was like, fuck, because it's like, you know, once you start seeing that kind of money, generally you pour it back into this. Yeah. And in that case, it was like, okay, let me put a little bit towards the hoodies and a little bit towards this. And, you know, I'm going to be in pain. I won't have a retainer, but I'll get these hoodies out and I'll double back, figure it out. That's what I've been doing this whole time.
Shit. And so that's having Keem, having the other brother that in your life that you talked to, that you basically sat down, like, this is what I'm going to do. Because I'll tell you, I feel like I was on a podcast called A-Line Media where they had asked a question about, shout out to A-Line.
Shout out A-Line.
Where they asked a question about like women in that industry. And my take on that was, now that I look back on it, I feel like it was an ignorant take. Like, not necessarily stupid, but ignorant, not knowing, talking about something not knowing. And I said, I think women that go into that field, they may have daughter-father issues, right? Right. And so, but me saying that, I'm only looking at it from one aspect. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at it from life, nigga. Like, nigga, life happens. This happens. Life happens. You know what I mean? And so, motherfucker doesn't intend on going in here like, oh, this was my dream to do this or this. but I have to make ends meet. And so I had this. I haven't said on camera, but I took that back a while ago because I don't know what I was looking at, what I saw. It was like you're not putting into content or putting into frame of mind the life experience, what has happened, what these people are going through, why they're doing this. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people have an ignorant outlook on the path to OnlyFans and what's happening. Like, you know what I mean?
And like, so obviously OnlyFans is sex work, you know, like, but it's very much multiple just things going on in sex work. Like, you do have the people, the girls who are like, oh, I'm just pretty and I'm gonna just be a hoe and just get some money from it.
Right.
And in this economy, it's like you could go work your hardest job 40 hours a week and you're not gonna make it. So, hey, little baby, I understand, but please try something else first, you know? And then there's the people who are like, you know, I was in the club, like with the dancers. Like, I was with the dancers in the club from 2016 till literally the pandemic when they shut the clubs down, you know? AOD, Secret Sundays, like, you know, Penthouse, all of that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I was a house mom at one point. So it's like, I'm getting to know these girls. Like, y'all are my girls, you know? And they're telling me stuff. You know, y'all see this one girl, she's drunk in here, but y'all don't know she's doing this because she need to be in the frame of mind to get this money, and she make a whole lot of money. But see, what y'all don't know is she got a nephew because her daughter had 2 kids, her mom, whatever, and she taking care of all of these people. You don't know this somebody mama right here. She over here taking, like my homegirl, she posted a picture last night. Her name is Steph. She used to dance. And she wants to do all of this. So like, she was actually writing out and drawing out a treatment in her dancer outfit in the back room. And it was like an old video that she had. And it's like, I'm not sitting here just caping for women who just are doing it. I don't care what you're doing. Get your money. Get your money. Like, but there are women in these fields that are here like, I have a reason and I have to get out. And I always tell girls that don't just go in the strip club and go make some money. And don't just get on OnlyFans and go make some money. Know why you need that money and know why you're there. Because once you get to that mark, you might get there way quicker than you think it's going to happen. Because the way I done seen $1,000 come in 3 minutes. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, I couldn't work for this. And all I knew growing up, Rios, was hard work.
Right.
Go to work. Go work 2-3 jobs. That's how I was raised. And so with this, it's different. But there are the women that are there that are actually supporting themselves, you know, like, and I couldn't do anything else because I was like, I don't want to GoFundMe. I'm like, let me add up the math. I need 300 something people to buy
this amount of hoodies, this amount of this. I did
the math. I put it on my Instagram. I said, look, I don't need like the GoFundMe thing. Cause at that point it was like more ignorant of me because when people look for you to ask for help, they want you to be like, please, like, please. And it's like
grovel. They want you to grovel. They want you to beg on your knees and grovel to the.
I was never taught to grovel. I was taught to say, yes, I need help. And until I can get the help that I need, I'm going to look for it until it comes and I'm going to help myself. So yes, help me help myself. And then everybody's like, oh, you so ignorant. You always talking about money and this, that, and the third. Well, I'm sorry that my experiences around the people that I'm around, like this is my life. Like I am around men that have a lot of money. I am around women that have a lot of money. Like, and these are the circles that I'm in because this is what I want to be, you know? And so, yes, sometimes my reality is different, but don't judge me off of that because I didn't mean for this to happen to me. Like, you know, and I didn't come begging nobody for nothing that they didn't have. Y'all like my t-shirts? Okay, cool.
I have product for you to support. You can support me through purchasing my product. Right.
You don't even got to worry about my teeth. Just know that when you buy these hoodies, you helping me save my life and I appreciate you, you know? But that didn't happen. So it was just like, okay. And then my friend was like, D'Janai, please, let's start it. Like, please, let's just try it. And I'm like, okay. We got on the GoFundMe website. And then we seen a girl who was missing her teeth. And she did a GoFundMe for that. And I was like, is this a sign? So she sat there and helped me write it and everything else. And it was like this long thing because they told us, like, make it long. And then people were like, she's scamming and teeth don't cost $100,000, this, that, and the third. I think they donated probably like 3,000 or something like that. Some strangers, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. But then ultimately I ended up closing it like, cause it just sat there and I was like, I'm going to show you that it's just going to sit there. Cause people were really like, oh, it don't cost that much. Yeah. So I'm like, and meanwhile in the back end, I'm racking up the receipts, like not even to keep for them, but I'm like, y'all have no idea how much this costs. And this tell me that y'all don't go to the dentist.
Right.
and it ended up costing way more than that. Like, I had a surgery in the middle of this, and that surgery was $127,000. Now, granted, I paid my $15,000 deductible, and then they paid the rest of it. But I was like, imagine if I had got the GoFundMe and needed that, I'd have had another GoFundMe. Like, and people just don't know. And I've come from a place of like, oh, you're stupid because you don't know, to like, okay, you just don't know. Like, if you want to learn, okay, cool. But if you just don't know, just okay. And then the OnlyFans platform, you don't know. You don't know, because we all look the same.
Yeah, exactly.
We all look the same.
You want to box them in, marginalize them, put them in a box like, oh, everybody. And then you got the insecure, I don't want to say certain sex, but the insecure people out there that want to be judgmental.
But what I told people? Guys, y'all, not you. But men can go sell drugs.
I was just going to explain it to be like dope.
Please.
So going and being in a hard place, and then going to, like, you know what, I'm going to just sell this and do this real quick, make my ends back. And you get that fast money, but then you get addicted to it.
You taking them legal chances getting that fast money.
And then it usually never ends good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because it's so fast, you just stay in it or whatever. But I would see like the comparison is there. Like, dude, and you're not doing anything illegal. Like, that's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal. And I was like, y'all are mad that y'all can't do this and get money. And I understand that, because I have never been ignorant to a man's struggle and how hard it is for you guys to get employment, how hard it is for you guys to keep employment, the stigma of how they use men as machines and tools. And it's like, no, this is a person. Like, he's feeling stuff up here, he's feeling stuff in his body. Like, he's not just like, oh, you're ragdoll and you're robot, you know. Like, I've never been ignorant to that. But I don't like when men, oh, she's a hoe, she's doing OnlyFans. Well, actually, if you was smart, y'all coming in this strip club that's declining. Technically, she being smart, because you don't need $150 house fee to go get on OnlyFans. Right. You can get on there for free. They gonna take 20%, but you're not paying a house fee every night. The girls, and
you might be in the safety of your own home.
Right, where nobody has to touch you or anything like that. On top of that, I'm like, y'all see pretty girls, but y'all don't see how much it costs for pretty girls to show up as pretty girls. So I'm in there with the dancers, watching them spend $50, $60 on an outfit, buying more than one outfit because they working more than one day.
Yeah.
They getting a weave. It's $1,000 for the weave. They getting their makeup done, this, that, and the third. I'm like, they paying almost a rack just to come to work.
The overhead is crazy.
Right. And so if you can keep that overhead in the safety of your own home, just like you said, and nobody got to be touching on you, everything else, the same men that's in the club want to do this. Yes, it is smarter for a girl to get on OnlyFans than to be in a strip club at this point in life.
Right.
Like,
so, quick question. So, with that, I'm really interested because I've never talked about this. So I love that we're talking about it, because so with the OnlyFans, more eyes, but less physical touch, less like personal interaction, having to smell somebody, having to hear their conversation and do this and that. Like, that element is gone. But with the added eyes, is there like a fear, not a fear, like I would hate to say it's fear, but is there like an added element of like safety? Like, damn, more people are gonna know me, my face, like where I go places.
I have never not been on OnlyFans and not been scared. Okay. Like, the entire time that I've been on there, even right now today, like, I am scared, you know?
Because people get to see you. They know you. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's fame. Right. And so even the stuff that we do, like, when we was at the studio, was you there that night? Like, at Puns, and then like some girl showed up like right when it was the end of the stream. She hadn't called nobody, talked to nobody, just knocked on the door, and Pun like, who's that? Illa like, who is that? Shit like that. You know, the other instances that have happened, you know, compromising people's locations that where we go to, you know, film and everything else. Those things happen. And I told Illa, like, I was like, dog, I walked in a store and somebody told me happy birthday. And I was like, what? Like, who the fuck is you? Yeah. He's like, no, I watched Illa's show. I saw you on Illa's show. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because my first reflex is not peace. Yeah. It's like,
Well, you always been with the business. Like,
I've always had to defend myself. I never had a father. I never had a big brother. I'm the older sister. I'm the older cousin.
the protector, the fighter, the defender.
Right. And so it's like with men, you know how men are with women, how they, I don't know what it is in their psyche that make them tweak how they tweak, but I've had men try to fight me because I wouldn't give them their number. So that's when I became more like very hyper vigilant. Like, it's like, what? Who are you? Like, we can be nice after that. Who are you? Because it's like, what do you want? You never know. Like,
I need to get to know why you're here, who you are, who do you know? Yeah. Like, I'm not just
OnlyFans. It makes it much smaller.
Yeah,
it makes it much smaller because not only are they watching you on YouTube, but they're watching you on OnlyFans, and they see like private stuff, and then they see like, oh, let me follow her on Instagram, Twitter. It's like, it puts you in this box where you feel stalked. Like,
look, I was just saying, they disagreed with me. I may be wrong, but they disagreed. That I was like, now people have so much access to us or to you that they don't actually have to be stalkers like they were back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, because now
putting it out.
They're putting it out. I don't have to go follow you around the world because guess what? I'm going with you around the world through this. Like, I'm seeing you, talking to you, getting the message you. And so that's like where the lines get kind of like,
they're extremely blurred. Because there was even a girl, and I just know that she was like an Instagram girl. I believe her name was Ashley. I may have the name wrong. But there was a guy that went to her house and killed her.
Really?
Like, I think it was like the maintenance man or something.
I'm saying really, like, I'm surprised, but I can see that happening.
Really, like, that's scary. Like, you know, so that really, really happened. She's really dead right now. And that was someone that a lot of people that I know knew, you know?
Yeah.
And
wait, you knew this girl?
No, I knew her friends, my friends were like close friends with her because I would always see her in videos with them, and she was a very popular girl, and that really happened. Damn. Like, and in my old apartment building, like, I remember getting in the elevator one day, and then I got out of the elevator. The guy got out of the elevator, different floor. I get back home. I have a message in my DM. I thought that was you on the elevator, but I didn't want to speak. And I was like, oh my God. Blocked immediately.
Yeah,
you know?
like, you don't know how weird that is?
It's scary because now it's like, oh, you know where I lay my head now.
Exactly.
Right. And then I went downtown. This was sometime this year. Nobody knew I was downtown.
Okay.
I had just pulled up Rios. I just got out of my car. I went to the somewhere to get like some breakfast. And the guy walked up, hi, Peaches. I was like, and I clinched real quick. Like, what? Back up. Like, you know? And he was like, oh, I watched the show. I said, don't you never walk up on me like that ever again. Because I know exactly who he was. He was like this like creepy Instagram photographer. But I'm like, don't you never do no shit like that ever in your fucking life. Like, get the fuck away from me right now. Like, but that is the reality. Like, I can't post where I'm at getting my hair done, where I'm at getting my nails done, this, that, and the third, because literally they went through one of my hairstylists' whole fucking page. She called me. She was like, bro, why is everybody on my Instagram saying that you Drake's baby mama and this, that, and the third? I was like, oh God. I said, they found your page. She said, they back into my pictures to 2016 right now. I was like, just put it on private. Like, just put it on private right now. Like,
like, let this fucking blow over.
But it's very scary. And then, like, you know, people do those add yours things, and it'll be like, what country did you go to, and what do you like, and what's your name and your birthday?
Like in the story where people can
And I'm like, obviously people don't have the same reality we have, but there are people who do. And it's like, why is y'all putting all this identifying information, security questions, what's your dog's name, for everybody on the internet to see? And it's so crazy because, you know, the chat is the chat. Like, we need the chat.
Yeah.
You know, like, we are not this without the chat. Mm-hmm. And there are some people in the chat that are just like, hey, I just want to be here and like experience it. There's other people who like, I want to cross that boundary. Like, I want what they have, like in an envious way, some of it in an entrepreneurial way, but you never really know. And I'm like, I don't know what you guys think about these K's behind our name and these numbers and this, that, and the third. But I'm like, it doesn't do to your psyche or your self-confidence what you think it's going to do. Yeah. And once you get to that point where you on the algorithm and it's hundreds of thousands of people looking at you from all different directions, you have to have something to keep you there, but also be of interest. Right. Like, one thing Head told me before I got in this was, he was like, D'Janai, make sure people either have something good to say about you or something bad to say about you, but you don't never want them to say nothing, you know? And so, he was like, be prepared because it's going to come from everywhere.
Right.
And these people,
all angles.
Right. And it did just that. And it's not for everybody. And I try to tell my friends, like, they don't understand, you know, why can't you post me on my birthday and this, that, and the third? Well, y'all are my real friends. And not to say that the people that are around, those are not real friends and I don't have real relationship with them, but it's like, hey.
You are my safe space at times. Like, I go to be safe with you, I want to be off the radar with you.
Right. And even if I am on the radar, I have to be able to keep you safe. Right. That's the thing. It's less about me and it's more about you.
Them. Oh,
and I had that conversation with Illa, and I was like, Illa, like, you know how we post each other for our birthdays, and like, because we're actually with each other. Like, Illa's birthday we stream, my birthday we stream, stuff like that, you know. But my real friends, they're not around, you know. That's who I would normally spend birthdays with and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can't post certain people because I'm like, I need to keep you guys safe because this is not your world. Right. And if something happens, I got to tweak out and I still have to keep this world like this.
I don't want you to have to deal with a crazy dumb, like we're used to the dumbness, the ignorance. Right. I don't want you to have to deal with that. With on a page with your kids and this and that and somebody. Yeah. But I didn't look at it like that. But I do understand where you're coming from and saying like, no, like I keep that, what is it called? Compartmentalized? Like
it's certain stuff I'll post, but I'll try to make it look as just normal and incognito as possible. Yeah. I don't want you to know that this person is very, very important to me because like we could shut all these cameras off like about them. Like, and that's how shit'll get. We all have these people behind us that it's like, we gonna turn every single camera off and you ain't gonna see what the fuck is about to happen. Like, but it will happen. Like, exactly. And that's not something that a place that you want to operate in. And so it's like when we're around each other, we know, okay, we're not posting these pictures just yet. You know, we're not doing this. We don't have to have those conversations. Like, but people, they don't see that. And then this part is not really often talked about because it's like, oh, they're having fun and they're this and they're that. And I'm like, this is work, guys. Like, this is a very different part of life now, but this is work for us, you know, like, exactly. So I don't know.
So look, okay. So the OnlyFans bubbling, getting what you're getting out of OnlyFans, what you want out of OnlyFans. You're getting out of it what you need. And I commend you on that. I have a different outlook on it. Not from from here, but I don't know exactly what happened, but it was just like, no, nigga, you're not putting the shoe on the other foot. You're not putting yourself in a position. With that, like we talk about the industry we're in, you've been on Fair to Say. Mm-hmm. You're under the umbrella. You've been on every platform. What is next for?
So
what do you want to do? What do you want to do, or what do you see?
So right now I'm in this place where I'm watching my dreams die, and it's killing me because back in, I want to say like June, well actually February of this year, I found out my manager was stealing from me. Damn. And I had ran the numbers from her, like, you know, for my apartment and stuff like that prior to moving there. Am I going to be able to make this much money? What are y'all projecting? Whatever the case may be. So it got cleared 6 months before. Then like 2 months after I had, you know, got my new spot, that's when we found out she was stealing and everything tanked. So then we going back to a place of trying to pick this back up, figure this back out. And in June, July, something like that, when I found out what was going on with the doctors, like, oh, these niggas are really scamming me. Like I crashed out. And I was like, I'm not taking no pictures. I don't give a fuck about this OnlyFans. Like, I'll schedule some shit, but I'm not looking at this shit. Like, because if I'm gonna do this shit that I don't want to do to have to pay for literally my livelihood, I need my livelihood to be progressing. And that was back when the doctors started stopping my treatment. Okay. And they had taken the money and they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Like, I was filing insurance claims. I was calling lawyers. They were supposed to be talking to them. They weren't answering the phones and everything else. And so it was like, I'm not finna be on here selling ass and selling a dream that you could talk to me and this, that, and the third. And my real life is not getting fixed behind the scene. Cause I'm like, y'all see all these pictures of me like, oh, you're perfectly fine. Whatever. Think whatever you want. I'm gonna let y'all know what actually happened when I get a grip on it afterwards. But that real life started setting in. So like even now, nobody really knows what's going on, but like it really fucked me up because I had to stop printing my clothes. And I took some footage. I don't remember what night it was. It was some months ago, like earlier in like second quarter of the year, I think. And I'm crying. I'm showing the videographer because like my hair fell out. Like, and that was one big thing with this all happening. Like everybody's like, you getting your hair done and bitch, you need teeth. Like I'm reading the comments, them saying just that, you know?
So dumb.
And I'm like, y'all don't know that my hair has been falling out this whole time because of the medication that they give me to take every single day. That if I stop taking it, I'm gonna start having seizures and heart attacks and everything else.
So it was the medicine. It wasn't stress.
It's both.
It was both.
It's both. Because I mean, obviously the whole situation is stressful, you know? But the medicine, the way it started coming out in like clumps and like, I'm like, fuck, like I started having to collect it in bags. So it's literally bags hanging on the wall, like in that room that I showed you, you know? But I've never been a girl that could do my hair, you know, like your wife's hair, like hers water, you know, do whatever she want. If she want to straighten it, she can. But if she doesn't want to, I never had that. And so it was like, I have to go get my hair done. If I don't get my hair done, I can't take these pictures. I can't make any money. And my hair is also going to fall out and be bald headed. Y'all gonna call me bald headed, crackhead, and everything else now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So it was just like, fuck. And so I'm showing her like, yeah, my hair is falling out right here. And I'm folding hoodies because I had just got an order of hoodies. And I'm like, you know, I need a retainer, but, you know, like I just made these hoodies and I'm folding it and this, that, and the third. And, you know, I'm about to sell them and send them off and this, that, and the third. And so everything is stopped right now. But, you know, people have always questioned, like, who is this girl? Like, why do they have her around? Like, oh, she's just there because she's pretty and this, that, and the third. No. And it's
couldn't be any further from the truth.
Right. But, you know, it's like they don't know. And like I said, this is the first time I've talked about this in 3 years, because when I really realized what was going on with the insurance and everything else, it was like there's no amount of conversation that I can have with you guys to explain to you what's going on, because you're not the insurance agent that should be processing my claim. You're not the dentist that should be fixing me. You're not the other doctors that should be doing this. You're not the lawyers that should be doing their jobs. So until they do their jobs, I can't really explain to you, hey, your narrative is wrong, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you run off whatever cliff you want to run off and think whatever you want to think about me. And I'm gonna handle everything on the back end. And when the back end started just being like, oh, these doctors are really fucking you over and they don't give a fuck what's happening to you, I shut everything down. But I've always come in this space just to learn. Like Barbie brought me on a podcast and introduced me to Auntie and Illa. But Ladies Night was the one that I was going on first. Okay. So they taught me how to do all of this, you know? Like, I'm scared, Illa. I'm scared, Auntie. They're like, don't be scared. Like, just come on, you know? Like, then going on Punch Show, like, you know, and all the rest of them, like, y'all taught me. So in this space, I have never stopped operating in my dreams and in my craft and everything else. Like, I always got my hoodies on. Like, you know, I'm promoting my brand wherever I'm on. Like, I made these clothes. So
what is the name?
Well, we're not making these no more.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because y'all was telling me that y'all was big and then small and then trying to leave me bad reviews, and I'm trying to make y'all look cute for y'all guys. So we gonna double back when I got the cut and so budget. Yeah. But I seen them reviews. Why y'all do me like that? Y'all know that I was giving y'all good quality stuff. Like, they was roasting. I'm like, bro, I can help you lie to this man and catfish this man, but you can't lie to me. Like, tell me your real size, you know? Exactly. Like, but, you know, it was a thing. But
because I saw the hoodie on Joe Budden. Was it Joe Budden podcast? Somebody was wearing the hoodie? Aww. Yeah.
I love you, Joey. I don't know who had it on, but I know they were talking about me on there one time. But I've still been doing that. Like, I've still been doing that. And I've let people know, like, I'm not here to be a cast member on Ace Boys Worldwide or Fig Community World or Ladies Night or Fair to Say or anything. These are my friends' podcasts. This is their niche and everything else. I don't have the will, the energy, or the wherewithal to do this on a regular basis. Yeah. Now, on the other side of things, you know how like T-Rail and like they vlog like lifestyle content and somebody following them around. Now that I wouldn't care if somebody was doing. You could follow me around all day. We could vlog. I don't give a damn. But sitting here on a podcast and then I got to pay attention to stuff that like I don't pay attention to because they was talking about shit. And I'm like, Pun, I don't give a fuck about this.
Exactly.
So when I found out about you, I'm like, oh, he over there talking about real shit. I said, this is what I be talking about, but don't nobody want to hear this shit. But it's good that somebody finally doing this, because I'm like, this is the shit that I talk about. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this person eating McDonald's and who this person fucked and this. I don't give a fuck. None of that matters.
Like, it's no value to your life. Like,
it's fun sometimes, like when we have those fun moments. But as a basis of you need me to show up every day and this is my job, I can't do that.
Right.
Because not only do I have so much other shit going on, but like I think social media and content, I think people have really forgotten what an actual artist is. Nigga, we didn't see Picasso. We didn't see Frida Kahlo. We didn't see even these big time artists right now. You don't see them. They are in the studio. When I was painting heavily, nigga, I was in the house for almost a year. All day, all night, people sleep. I'm painting. I'm sleeping during the daytime.
Well, let's talk about that, because we haven't talked about that at all, and that's how
That's how you met me?
I met you before numerous times. I met you, been in the same vicinity or whatever. But how I got to like really like get to know a little bit more about you was through your art on Instagram. Like it was somewhere where I was like, oh, I know who that is.
Really?
And you were doing art. And I was like, dude, I had no idea this girl does art. And it was a beautiful thing to me. You know what I mean? Because it looked like an outlet. It looked like therapy. It looked like what art was supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like how it looked like an artist. You know what I mean? Like what an artist would look like. And I did not pin you as an art. Like we were just like.
Because niggas don't buy art.
Like,
so that was the shit, Rios. Mm-hmm. It was like I had like I got my heart broke. Like my very first boyfriend crashed the fuck out, because I'm like, you were supposed to be loving my life, and listen, I love you still, you know. But I crashed out. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't want to do none of this. But I had just left Wells Fargo, and they had wrongfully terminated me, so I got a big settlement from there. So I'm like, okay, I got a 150 grand in the bank. I could go paint. I knew something was going on. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. I'm like, it is pre-recorded.
Is this 12:55?
It's
my alarm to pray.
Yep, 12:55. Yeah, there you go. You want to say a little prayer?
God, thank you for this space. Thank you for allowing him the ability, the wherewithal, the finances to make a space like this. Thank you for the open and safe space that he has given us here. Thank you for the traction that you have given him and the way that you have allowed people to accept his voice and digest his voice and hear his words and understand him and where he's coming from. And I'm grateful that you brought a level of reality to this world that is so entirely fake. And I plead the blood over you and your house and your family. And I pray that you soar in this industry and that you stay in your lane with it and go as far as you want to go with it and take as many people as you want to take with him, because you have provided a space that everybody doesn't have. Amen, Lord. Thank you.
Amen. Jesus' name. Hey, that was good. See, but this is why I like this. This is why I like what we're doing, because I'm not editing that out. Like, because guess what? Give a fuck. I'm like, this is real. Yeah. Like, this is reality. Like, this, I accept prayers. I accept people praying over me.
Now, you can't accept everybody's prayers.
You can't accept everybody's prayers, but I accept prayers. I accept that is a part of my life. Prayer is a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
I've been on Ace Boys Worldwide for over a year.
Yeah.
Where has prayer ever?
I mean,
it's a place and time for everything, but that's why I like this space, because it allows room to show the other side or the other things.
What you allow is in this space is clarity from the perceptions and clarity from the narratives. Oh, okay, you think this is who this person is and that person is? Okay, cool. Well, let me show you who you really are. Because remember how I told you I was nervous?
Yeah.
And I was like, last night, literally, I was watching all the videos. I was watching TFs. I was watching ADs. It was a girl on here. Y'all got straight to it with her. I was watching all of them, and I was just like, they wouldn't know these people were dealing with this if they didn't have this space. Because even AD, you know, he talked about his son and everything that he has going on with his son and everything else. Y'all see turned up AD. Y'all don't know AD is really a family man. That man has been a family man since I met him and Pun and all of them over 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, AD love his family, like, you know, and everybody's just like, oh, turn up AD and be a Crip AD. And it's like, that is a real man who has a real government name that I'm not going to say, so don't call me crazy. But it's like, he's a real person.
Right.
And so I was so happy that I'd seen you guys do it. And I always make sure, like, when, like, we all post stuff, that I'm like, oh, let me go make sure I like it, even if I don't look at it. But I had never listened to it. And I listened to that part, and I was like, I'm glad that you did this. I'm glad that you made them talk, and I'm glad that you sat down with Keem and made him talk about the things that he, you know, has security and insecurities about, and everything else, like, because he's very, like, open with stuff, you know. But if you see him on the podcast, you see him talking shit, you're gonna think, oh, this is all he is. That's a whole nother family man too.
Right.
Like, you know,
the bigger than life.
Right.
Bigger than life. But
right.
Guess what? He's a down to earth real person.
We all are, though. That's the thing. We all are. But in this spotlight, it is very, like, you have to pick and choose, who am I going to let see all of this? And not necessarily because I care that you see it, but what are you going to do with this information now that you see it and you know it? Like, what is your intent with it? And everybody's intent is not good. No. And so it's like, I understand why people are selective now. And like, I get it now. You guys made me understand a lot, like, so much. Like, even like I said, you know, this podcasting thing, I don't understand it all the way, because I'm like, I'm just talking to my friends.
Exactly.
And no, 1,000 people can't fit in this room, but 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people are going to see this. And y'all just watching me and the homie talk, like, okay, well, you know, chopping it up. What's up, gang? Like, what's happening? Like,
and look, and I'm asking you questions that I haven't had the time to ask you. You know what I mean? Because we see each other. There's always so much going on. Yeah. When have we been one-on-one where it's just like downtime?
I think we talked a little bit on Illa's birthday. But other than that, it's like, it's stuff going on. It's everybody
7 people
everywhere.
Moving, music happening.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hear, like, wait, what'd you say?
Right.
You know, like, yeah. And so I want to get back, because I don't want to leave that alone about you and your art. And what is your intentions there with your art?
So right now I'm in a space of, I have painted, I say 1.5 because I haven't finished the second one. Okay. I have only painted 1.5 paintings since this happened. Okay. When I was homeless, obviously I had to keep all my paintings in a storage and stuff like that. So when I was doing paintings, I was doing them in AOD, and they were giving me the keys to the club, letting me stay there all night to get my art ready, because I was going back and forth to New York, taking, like, my pieces out there and doing shows every year. But, you know, people don't buy art. And I'm not going to sell you no painting for like $100, $200, $300. Like, I'm not giving you nothing for, like, probably under $1,000, $3,000, like, minimum, you know. But it was like, hey, D'Janai, people aren't going to buy this. I'm like, okay, there are 100% people that will buy this. It's just not y'all. So I'm like, y'all, if I put it on a t-shirt, y'all gonna pay $50? They're like, hell yeah. Okay, boom. So now this is how I can get you to pay attention to my art. All right, boom. That's how I ended up getting the full clothing line and everything else. Yeah. As far as my art goes, I'm in a space of, like, this is not 20, whatever it was when I was sitting there painting all these pictures, 2015, 2016. This is like, I got to come film here. I need to get my hair done here. I need to go do admin work when I finish here. I got to go put in a clothing order and go downtown as soon as I finish here. This is, oh, you can't sit up and sit on a painting for 8-10 hours, whatever the case may be. Then on top of that, the physical injuries, like my neck, I can't put my neck down like this. I can't sit there like this, like my back, I can't do that right now.
There's limitations there now.
But there's also, like, I haven't done it in so long, and I don't know if I love it anymore. Like, do I know that I love it? Yes. I don't know if I'm in love with it. And so it was actually very coincidental. I met somebody who's like a manager, like an entertainment manager. And he was like, hey, I know some people, like, if you want to pull these paintings out, we can get them sold for a lot of money. And I'm like, look, I'm not pulling my paintings out unless it's that particular crowd that's for here, because I'm like, I don't need to showcase nothing else. Like, I don't want to do that, you know. And so that's the space that I've been in it with it. And I'm like, damn, like, am I a fraud? Because, like, this is how I got here, and I don't think I really love it the same no more. But I don't
definitely
have,
not a fraud. Definitely not a fraud. That's,
imposter syndrome. Like people, you're an artist, why don't you paint? And I'm like, I can't right now.
I'm not in that space.
And
because guess what? I am a painter. I am an artist.
Yeah.
Because I was that and I am that. If I was that, I am that.
Right.
No one can take that away from you. And you go through ups and downs in life, D'Janai. Like
right.
it's ups and downs. There's peaks and valleys.
Right.
And my father-in-law, he's 80. He's an artist. He started the first black art gallery in Los Angeles.
Really?
In Leimert Park, the Brockman Gallery. His art is just being recognized right now. They're buying pieces in LACMA. They're buying pieces in New York.
Really?
His gallery won Art Basel in Miami last year at 80.
It's crazy because, like, there was another thing that happened right before I had moved, and I had pulled out all of the paintings.
Okay.
And I haven't talked to anybody about this, actually, maybe a couple of my friends, but not publicly. I pulled my paintings out, and like we hear the voices in our head and stuff like that, like our own voice. But there was a painting that I made of a girl, and she was like laying on the ground, like flat like this. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it had like broken hearts like sewn all over her body. And I called it Russian roulette. But she was dead. She was dead in that in the grass in that picture. Like love killed her, basically. And when I pulled the paintings out, I started. It was like some shit out the movies, like how like the scenes flash, like boom, 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 boom. And I'm in my living room and I'm looking at them and I'm hearing sound. I'm like, okay, I'm not high. Like
what's going on? Yeah.
And I'm looking, and I look at the painting, and then I went back, and it was just like, that's how I fell. It was right under the mirror, just coincidentally, where I fell.
Oh, man.
And I was I made this painting in 2017.
Whoa.
2017 I made this painting. And I'm like, I remember making this painting. It was just about love and just feeling like I don't have nothing else. Like, I tried it, and like the Russian roulette, that was it. And I'm like looking at other stuff. Like I made a painting that's just like this. And it's like, it has like a Band-Aid, like an actual Band-Aid, and there's flowers going out of the Band-Aid right here. Mm-hmm. And it has like that suicide, like semicolon right there. And it says like, love me while I'm here. Mm-hmm. Never would I have thought that I would be dealing with being actively suicidal. Like, and I'm looking at all of these paintings, and I'm like, these were just thoughts that stemmed from emotions from being heartbroken, stemmed from just me wanting to draw certain stuff like that I've seen in music. And I'm like, these things happened to me 3 years later. So I'm like, now I'm kind of afraid to paint in certain aspects.
The power of your painting.
Yeah, because I'm like, I would have never painted something and tried to manifest any harm to come to myself, These were just like, hey, I know what it's like to sit in that room and want to slit your wrist. Like, I know that. So I painted that picture, Would I now think I'd be openly telling people, like I am suicidal, but it looks different on everybody else. And like, okay, here, have a good day. We're about to go have a good day, have fun and laugh and everything else. Like, I never thought that. So that's been another aspect of it too, because seeing them, it's going to draw emotion out of me, obviously, but it draws that same emotion out of other people. And so I'm like, I'm not ready for people to be asking me all of these questions right now about what's going on. So I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do no art gallery. But if the art is going to go to these people who are real art collectors, yes, we can have these conversations. But the whole starving artist run, no, I'm 100% not doing that. I'll keep these shits, and then, hey, I die, y'all decide to blow my shit up. This my family trust fund.
Yeah, exactly. It's on deck.
Yeah, exact. Because I paint Rios. Like, if I bring my paintings here, it's gonna take up all of this right here, like, and some more. Like, this whole room would be done.
Right.
It's like 60-something paintings at my house right now. Like, and I was painting manically. Like, but I was so happy. It was the only thing in my entire life when I first started really dealing with anxiety and shit like that. It made me quiet.
Shit, art
it made my
forever.
brain. It made my brain quiet. I didn't give a fuck about what I was painting. I was like
boom, just float. Like what they call in the flow zone.
Yeah.
Or in the where you just feeling it.
I would literally just be gone like hours. Like they would come in there and check, "Are you okay?" Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm good. I'm doing exactly what I want to do right now.
Yeah, and I miss that feeling about it, but I know in time, I don't have that to do it right now, you know? But
to allocate that chunk.
Yeah.
To allocate that chunk of time. Because if I'm going to do this, I want to be able to do it unfiltered. I don't want to be bothered. I want to be able to just lose myself in my paint. And right now, you're not, would you say you're just not in the space to lose yourself in it because you're so focused on other things that need to be taken care of right now?
I think that the creativity that I used to make those paintings, I have funneled them into other things. So like, you know, the documentary that we're shooting, like the YouTube series that like I'm doing with like exposing these doctors and what they're doing to me and stuff like that. My creativity has gone to that. Like the stuff that I was sending you the other night, like we just shot that the other day. So as soon as I leave here, you know, I got to go view the video footage. We got to chop those. We got to edit those. So it's like, no, I can't sit here and edit these videos about these things that really happen from these paintings and then go be sitting there painting too. Like it's not, it's not going to happen. And it's never about being vulnerable with me and open about what's going on. Cause like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, generally my vulnerability helps other people be vulnerable. So I don't mind it, you know?
That's what I was just going to ask you. So you're talking about the documentary and the YouTube show, episodic thing, like you have
like a, you know, this is y'all word, so I don't know the terminology, but we're going to put out, we're chopping footage. Like I have 2-hour long doctor's appointments. Okay. So people asking me, who's your doctor? Who's your doctor? And like I said, I stayed silent about all of this time because it was like, I need to know what is going on with me before I tell you guys what is going on with me.
Exactly.
Because I need to make sure I'm grounded in what I got going on. And if my ground is like this because of all of these doctors, y'all definitely don't need to see what's going on right now, you know?
And it just, for like just how my brain works, right? Like it just goes and goes. I'm just like thinking like, this is my sister, this is my girl, my homie, my friend that's going through something, that went through multiple things, that's still going through it. How many women are going through these like similar situations, but nobody's hearing them, nobody's listening?
You know, it's crazy that you say that. It's definitely it's women for sure, but it's definitely men too. I've gotten actually reached out from both sides, but I know in this time period, there were 2 girls that I tried to help get their teeth back. There was one girl, and she didn't have any teeth.
Okay. All of them were gone.
Yeah. Okay. She has lupus. They tried to treat her lupus with chemotherapy.
Okay.
It killed all of her teeth. Damn. So I brought her to Dr. Thomas and I was like, I can't ask this of me, but I will ask this of her because she found me. She saw a video that I was like walking or something like that. It went viral. And she was like, in that moment, when you smiled and you showed your teeth, she was like, you made me remember my self-confidence that I haven't, I feel like I've lost right now. She said, I don't have any teeth. And I'm like, what? And it was kind of one of those situations where it's like, I don't know this girl at all. And do you need to call me? Like, are you okay? And she was like, please. And she just told me her whole story, you know? And so I did try to get her to help, but then, you know, he fucked that up too. But then I met another girl because my friend came to me, I want to say not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that. Mm-hmm. And he was like, hey, there's this smile makeover. I just found it on the internet, Caliucci, and this doctor named Sean Cutley, like they're doing it. They're giving away $50,000. So I wrote them in, but I'm a writer, you know, like, so poetry, all that's what I do. So I wrote it, and then like the end of it was just like, you know, I feel crazy saying this, but I really do just want my 4 front teeth back for Christmas. Like that's really all I want, you know? And so they called me and they were like, it was funny because when I put it in there, I was like, I'm finna win this. But then I'm just like, okay, whatever. You know, I'm not thinking about it. Yeah. Nigga, they called me like, you really won. I was like, what? Like, you know? So it was weird. And then I went down to the place, whatever. Well, I talked to him on the phone and he's like, you know, we want to give you a whole mouth. I was like, oh, you're definitely not doing that. Like, I need 4 teeth. That's it. It's like all that other shit, I don't want it. And he's like, well, it's not going to cost $50,000. Like, you won $50,000. I said, okay, well, I'm not that important. Who else can you help? Like, he's like, there were other runners up. We can call them. So there was a girl there. Her name is Kaya. She's from Arizona. She was a recovering addict.
Okay.
And so I guess she was like 4 years sober or something like that at the time that it happened. Right. And so her teeth were starting to like rot out. And so I went there to the thing. I met her and everything else. And I'm like, please call her. Like, yes, give her whatever she wants. Give her more money. I don't give a fuck. You know? Yeah. I met her. I went to the office. I had so much anxiety in that office, Rios. I couldn't, like, we talking right here on camera. We've been talking for an hour, however long. I'm perfectly fine.
Right.
Bruh, I'm running through the lines, stuttering on my lines. I'm like, I'm anxious. Like, I can't record this. So, you know how you go, like, you know how we got to do, like, the promo drop and stuff?
Yeah.
So we're trying to do that, like, so he can get his content and everything else for us being there. But I kept stumbling on my words, and he kept, like, describe how you feel. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. Like, I'm just here. Like, you know, like, I'm processing this because I needed $50,000 yesterday, and now you're telling me that I have it, but to what capacity, you know? So, but the whole time I was there, the anxiety that I felt in that chair was not PTSD. It was like, no, this is not supposed, you're not supposed to be here, you know? Oh. And so when I seen Kaya and I met her, she was like, I wouldn't have teeth if it wasn't for you. Like, are you sure? Like, and I'm like, you need this. Like, take it. Take as much of it as you need.
So you gifted her.
I gifted her my smile makeover. And I said, look, like, I didn't tell her right away, but as soon as I felt that anxiety in that chair, I was like, I'm not going to do this. So I called my homegirl and I'm like, something's not right. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but something's not right. I said, I'm like, my palms are sweaty. She was like, what is it? She said, talk to them at least, find out. And so he tells me like the whole surgery process was needed. Now me, because I'm so fucking traumatized, you have to IV put me out. Yeah. Completely out. I can't hear nothing, can't see nothing. You obliterate my shit while I'm gone. But like when I wake up, it need to be sewn up. I need to not see it. He was like, we're more old school. We just, we shoot the day. I said, you are abso-fucking-lutely not about to do any surgery on me without anesthesia. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to call in a private anesthesiologist. He didn't have one. And I'm like, okay, you're not doing my teeth. You just don't know you're not doing my teeth. So I'm like, I don't know what to do with this because this is a lot of money to just give away. Yeah. So I said, Kai, just keep going to the appointment. She's like, are you sure? I was like, I'm not going to come this one. Just go. And then I wrote her, I said, it's yours. Like, I said, this is not for me. I said, please go get your teeth. Like, and she was like crying.
Oh my goodness.
Full circle. She's literally this year writing a note. She wrote a 2-page letter about it. I was like, Kai, I need to get in touch with the news. I need to try to get some help because, trying to do it on the internet is not working, She was like, okay. I did not expect her to write what she wrote. She wrote a whole note. She detailed the whole surgery because she used to be an addict. She didn't let them do any medicine. She felt every cut, everything.
Like, because she didn't want to trigger her addiction.
So she was, you need hard pain medicine after that. You need hard pain medicine while they're doing it. So she was like, I let them shoot me up. But she detailed it. I had to like close the letter because I was like, oh my God. Like, and she says in the letter, she's like, if I had to do that again, like, I would die. She was like, and if I was in the position she's in where you guys hadn't fixed my teeth years later, she said, I wouldn't be here. I couldn't stand for that. And I had no idea. And I'm like, this is crazy. But I gave her the whole thing. I was like, just take it. I'm like, I don't need it. I'll figure it out. Like, I'm definitely not letting him do my teeth. It's not that he was a bad doctor or anything, but I was like, you can't do my teeth awake. Like, there's no way.
I can't put myself through that either. Right. Like, I can't even force myself to do that shit.
I won't be able
physically can't do that.
Right. And so I was like, this is for you. I'm like, and it made me sad because I'm like, I see this girl who's like, I don't want to go back to this addictive lifestyle and everything else. And in the moment where I seen her need medicine, she literally chose to be in pain. And it broke my heart so much because it's like, I understand that relapse of like people who have addictions and stuff like that. And the lengths that they will go to not relapse. Mm-hmm. But it broke my heart because I'm like, Kaya, I watched myself have this surgery. I watched everything that they did. I seen them cut my gums. I'm like, I know what they did to your mouth. Like, and just to this day, it like, I still talk to her, but it breaks my heart because I did not know that she did it that way.
That is crazy. Like, I don't want to say crazy, but
it's absolutely insane.
Like, whoa, like,
but
more power to her, more power to you. Like, what a gift, what a blessing for her. You know what I mean? Like, even though it was painful, she wanted that.
she's smiling so beautifully now. Like, she was smiling even right after too. She just couldn't believe it. And it's so beautiful. Like, I see her post pictures like with her sister and her family, and she's just bright-eyed and happy and like living life, and she's smiling and everything. And I'm just like, I'm so happy that we crossed paths. I'm so happy that you got what you needed, you know? Because eventually I'll figure it out. Whatever has to happen for me to figure it out, I'll always figure it out. But you weren't going to be able to figure that out. And had he not even told me like about her, that would have never happened. Right. So I'm so grateful that he mentioned that.
Everything lined up.
Yeah.
Everything lined up.
But it's a lot of people who don't. Rios, like, it's people who call me asking me for my doctors and this, that, and the third. And people be thinking that I'm bougie online. And I'm like, no, I couldn't tell you guys this part. I couldn't tell you guys that this doctor that you see me on the internet with, he using my face and everything else, you think he's a good doctor. I couldn't tell you what he had did to me because I was still trying to figure out what he had did to me. So no, I don't have no references for you, like, or nothing like that. Because even now they're like, who did your teeth? And I'm like, well, y'all don't know that these perfect teeth that I got now, this nigga really don't like me. At least the black guy, he wasn't racist. He was a good guy until he wasn't a good guy, but he wasn't racist. The new surgeon, European guy, rich guy, private jets.
I'm so sorry about like.
It is what it is. But that's why I be saying, like, I respect openly racist people. I don't respect nobody that's finna lie to my face and be like, oh yeah, I like you and this, that, and the third. Because I don't care how much pain I walked in your office in. I would have rather you told me I don't want to do this. Because the shit that I found out last month was remember when I told you about the audio and all that? Mm-hmm. Nobody knows about that.
Oh, wait. I thought that was the other guy. The new guy.
And so they don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. So what was said on that audio, they don't know. But I do.
Oh my God! Like,
I gotta show you. So this is what we shot, but you gotta scroll through it.
Oh like, Lord!
It's a video, but you gotta scroll through it like to move it because it's not edited like that. We just dropped. Okay, we're gonna use this sequence. We're gonna use that sequence. Whatever. So scroll through it like that because you'll be able to see it. Okay. So it's not done, but. Yeah. So that's what we're going to put that on. And
so I was confused.
That's another reason why I don't talk about all of this, because it's like, it sounds like a never ending Project X movie. And it's like, when I tell people what happened, it's not going to make sense till I put audio and pictures and everything else to it. It's not going to make sense. And the amount of shit that happened to me, I've tried to, sit there. Like I would tell Keem, I'm like, how do I make this my fault? I've trying to figure out every way to make this my fault. And that's the part that I cannot accept about this. And I still haven't been able to accept, because it's like, you want to own up to your responsibilities and this, that, and the third. But I can't. There's nothing for me to own up to with this, because they said don't smoke. I didn't smoke. They said go to this surgery, do this. They said do this, pay this person that. I was there. I was on time. I kept up with my treatments. I did everything that I was supposed to do. Right. This was done to me. And I understood at a certain point when people started reaching out to me, like even Tiny's wife, she dealt with the stuff that she dealt with medically. She wrote me and she was like, D'Janai, dealing with the shit that I dealt with and trying to talk about it, I couldn't do that. She was like, so please keep telling your story, because it's like you telling my story too, And I never knew this is not just a women thing. While it is a women thing, it's not just women that's being mistreated in this industry. And it's people, I think about people who are in cancer pain, dialysis pain, all that other stuff. And I feel pussy, honestly, saying that I'm in so much pain that I'm in, but I can't deny that I'm in pain, because I am, you know. But there's people with worse, and I'm like, God, look, I'm not here to be nobody's role model, but please let the voice and the I don't give a fuck that I have about myself, please let it speak for these people. Right. Please let them be able to take whatever videos I put out and fight for themselves with it, because I can't.
Let them use this to advocate for themselves.
Please, because I'm like, I can't, like, I'll be dead trying to advocate for everybody, I don't have the energy to do it for myself. And yes, I will get on here and say, Yes, Trevor Thomas, you fucked up my teeth. Yes, Sasha Jovanovic, you fucked up my teeth. I'm finna nail you to the cross. And it ain't nothing God himself could do about it. So
that's what it is.
But somebody, those other people aren't on this couch to be able to say that for themselves.
Right.
To be able to see like, oh, D'Janai did it. Like, it's okay. Like, I could. And that's why I like this space, because what you are and what you have is what I've always been to people. I've been a safe space for you to say whatever you need to say, for you to be afraid if you want to be afraid. You want to fight, we need to go do something. Okay, what'd they do to you? You know, like, that is a good thing. And so I pray that my voice is somebody's advocation or something, like, because what these people are doing is illegal.
Right.
And it is detrimental. And I've had conversations with like my male friends, especially like my black male friends who have daughters. And I'm like, listen, I need you guys to understand that you guys see me functioning, but I'm not okay. And when you guys have daughters that come to you like, Dad, I feel like this, or Dad, I need to go to the doctor. I said, I need you to listen to them when they go to the doctors.
That's powerful.
I need you to listen to them, and I need you to listen and pay attention to if the doctors are listening to them or not. But if they say that they are hurt and they say that something is going on, I need you to trust them and listen to them, because I'm going in these offices by myself as my own voice. And they're granting and banking on the fact that they want me to be stupid, but I'm not stupid. Yeah. I'm way more informed than I should be. And that is what, gives me the pushback.
Right.
But at the same time, they have been telling me for 3 years that my teeth are not medically necessary, which is why the insurance didn't want to cover anything. Like literally anything. I have multiple papers. It just says your teeth aren't medically necessary. They're not medically necessary. Now, mind you, your mouth is connected to your whole fucking body. Anything can go wrong with your mouth. And everything could be fucked up. Because right now, like the back of my head, it's like all of this hurts. All of this hurt right here. When my teeth start hurting, it hurts all in here. Then it shoots into my eyes, and it feel like I'm poking a needle in my eyes. It comes right here. It comes over my temples now. And then, when I got in the car accident, I slammed into the wheel. So it's bulging discs right here. And it's a pinched nerve right here. Well, that pinched nerve come down into my chest right here, into the back right here. It's so up my neck sometimes. Like I walked in the chiropractor like this one day because I couldn't move it. Right. And so people don't know that. And so when black women go into offices and say, I need help and this is wrong and this, that, and the third, it's like, we know since the beginning of time, they were testing everything on more than just black women, but we was definitely the lab rats. Now it's like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you need pain medicine? Oh, you a dope head now? Because, like, I literally had, like, needed surgeries. I was in pain, nigga, on a floor in a fetal position, crying. And they like, oh, you can't take the Percocet. But my doctors was prescribing me Percocet and ibuprofen, big doses, like, young, nigga. Like, but I was in pain. It was shooting down my legs, everything else. I needed it. Only for them to turn around and tell me, oh, you're addicted to it. No, I'm in pain, and I would like you to do this surgery so I could get out of pain so I don't never have to take this medicine. They don't listen to black women when they say something is wrong. They require us to be supernaturally strong. And, people are like, you can get help from here. I said, black women ask for help and they don't get help. When black women die, that's when the fake outrage happens.
Exactly. The fake outrage.
That's when the Breonna Taylor murals pop up and this, that, and the third. That's when social media is in a frenzy for 7 to 10 business days. And then we never hear about Breonna Taylor again. That rapper guy, his girlfriend committed suicide. She had said something in a suicide note like, babe, I'm sorry. I told the doctors, like, I feel spiders coming up my legs and there's nothing there and this, that, and the third. That's nerves. And I know what she's talking about because I feel the same thing. I'm always looking at my leg like, what is it? There's nothing there. It's nerves. Like, she's like, wow. I'm in pain. I'm in this, that, and the third. That those models that like killed themselves and stuff like that. I'm like, she was sick. Like, it was another girl. She was sick. Like, I'm in pain. They're not doing nothing about it. I think Cedars-Sinai is getting sued right now for their treatment of black women in like the maternity department and something like that. And I'm like, if you could hear the things that these doctors have said to me, the men in my life that like actually care and like, you do something to her, we gonna beat you up. Like, they would be like, what the fuck? And if they said that to your daughters, like if your daughter came to you and was like, you're in pain, and a doctor told her in front of you, you're next to gorgeous. Nobody knows you're in pain if you don't say it. So stop saying that you're in pain and stop complaining and this, that, and the third, because nobody knows.
It's a wrap.
I was like, what? And he's in that same conversation, he was like, you can live with this pain. Now, mind you, I'm in his office crying. I'm like, look, I understand that I'm smart, but I have had to be smart to defend myself, you know? You're not advocating for me, or you're not even performing your duty as a physician to me, you know? You're not calling these other doctors, because I need a team of at least 10 doctors, you know?
You're not even being sympathetic. You're not even being empathetic to what
you're not even just doing your job. Like, hey, what's wrong with her? What are you doing to her? Because I'm working on this part, whatever. Okay, you're doing this. I'm giving her this medication. Okay, they're not going to interact. Normal doctor stuff, the basic they're not doing that. And so it's like, I tell my friends, just please listen to your daughters. Please listen to your daughters, because I'm like, there will be times that we say, oh, you know, Mom, my stomach hurts. I don't want to go to school. You know, we've all done that. But I'm like, I had a doctor literally tell me, I'm black. You're black. We go on the street and buy some MDMA, whatever. We going to jail. He told me, you want to figure out what happened to you? You need to take mushrooms. He was like, you need to take more than 3.5 grams of it and trip out. He was like, it's going to take you to a psychedelic place and you'll be able to find it. He said that, or go to Joshua Tree and take ayahuasca. He was like, it's going to trip you out even more. He said that, or you can go get pure MDMA. I said, where would you like me to get pure MDMA? Because I'm just like, enlighten me now. He said, you know, you have to get it off the street. Just make sure it's not, you know, dirty, whatever the case may be. He said, but I had a tennis player. And there was something in his childhood, I guess he remembered from being a baby. He was in his crib, and you know how you guys swaddle the babies? Yeah. So they were swaddling him, but he thought his whole life, whatever this memory is that I can see, I hear myself screaming, and I see my parents going like this.
Yeah, they were swaddling him.
They were swaddling him and trying to like go like this to get him to go to sleep. His whole life, he thought they were trying to kill him. So he went and tripped out on the MDMA. And I'm like, you are white and you're telling me to do this. I am black. I will go to jail. What are you talking about? Yeah. And he was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm about to put you on anxiety medication because you need to be able to function for work. He was like, but this is never going to help you. He said, it will help you be level-headed enough to keep fighting your fight. He said, you're about to fight with the insurance and they are going to do everything in their power to not
give you what you need.
Right. He said, I have no interest in fighting this battle with you, but if you want to find out what's actually going to work and get off this anxiety medicine fast, he said, you need to trip out. And I said, okay, just bye. Like, okay, so we back to square zero, which is how I ended up talking to the mediums and stuff like that. And the spiritual people and them telling me, yes, this voodoo was done and everything else, because Rios, I have looked everywhere. I have scrubbed everything. I have no idea what happened in that 22 minutes. And literally the doctor was like, you died and came back to life. And when I talked to the mediums, they were like, somebody put this on you. There was a spirit there, the same spirit that was there in your house. They're basically like, the spirit of death has a vendetta with you because it's tried to kill you and it will kill anybody else like that. But
it
couldn't. And then like the last time with the car accident, because I asked her, I had never gone to a medium and asked them exactly what happened. Because I'm like, God, I need you to tell me, you know. Mm-hmm. But in having a real relationship with God, he says, you know, I control everything. The witches, the warlocks, and everything in between. The demons, they got to bow to my name and this, that, and the third. We have to respect the fact that there are other powers, principalities, you know, witchcraft and things that are actually very real things happening at the same time, you know? So I went to my pastor, asked him, like, you know, what happened to me? What happened? They couldn't figure it out. And so finally this past 3 months, I went to the medium and I was like, what happened to me in this accident and what happened to me in this accident? I need to know.
Right.
Like, cut the bullshit.
Talk to me.
She said, and that's what she said. She couldn't find anything from the first accident at first. And then she was like, wait, you were in a car. She said, somebody's there with you. I said, nobody was there with me. She said, no, there was a spirit in that car with you. And she was like, that's what happened. That's why you don't remember nothing. She said, the same spirit that came for you in the house was in there in your car trying to get you again because it couldn't get you the first time. She said, you were supposed to die both times.
Who put the spirit on you? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's two girls from out here. And then she was like, it was a guy that you had business dealings with, and the business dealings went bad. And now, you know, Dr. Thomas, I don't think he's smart enough to do nothing like that. But, you know, who gives a fuck?
Right.
At this point, who knows? Because you niggas can't kill me or upset about it.
Yeah.
But that's what they told me. And I was just like, okay. But it was just like, why would y'all do that? Like, I ain't never took nobody boyfriend, husband to the extent of like, oh, I want her dead, you know?
Yeah.
But our friend, do you know Trey, the one that he got killed like probably like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So when Trey died, that shit fucked me up. Like, we still fucked up about that. But she asked me, the medium, she was like, did somebody that you love like recently die? And I was like, yes. And she was like, is he like a younger guy, like, you know, your age? And I was like, yes. She was like, I see his hand. She said, the only thing that I can tell you that I see is like, this is the spirit of death coming after you. She was like, and I see his hand on their shoulder, basically like holding him back. And I'm like, you motherfucker, like you could be here doing it. Like, and this really is a real conversation that happened. And yeah, they're literally like, people are mad that you didn't die. And I watched. They're mad
that you didn't die and that you were receiving love and support out of it.
And then people will be mad that you don't suffer the way that they think that you should suffer too. So I don't know. I've just kind of just been taking it all in, but the shit with the doctors, we're putting it out now because I'm like, these conversations, if I played them for y'all would run down in those offices. Like, y'all would run down in those offices and beat them people to bloody pulps. Like, because even the people who are editing these videos with me, like, when we found the audio, you know, that nobody knows that we have yet, you know, she looked at me and she was like, and I looked at her and I paused it. I was like, okay, wait. Like, just, and then she was staying at my house that night because we were just reviewing all the footage. She was upstairs and nigga, I was just downstairs weeping. Like, I'm like, you guys did this to me while I was in surgery and you don't have no idea that I know. On top of the fact, y'all put my whole surgery on the internet without my consent. So my friends went on there and saw my gums get cut open and everything else. That footage wasn't supposed to come out till the real documentary stuff came out. And I was just like, okay, now I'm going to speak up. Yeah. Because, and then I told my surgeon, I said, you're using my face to promote your business while you know that
you did me wrong.
You did me so wrong. On top of that, you were so arrogant in your position and you forgot, or maybe you didn't know that I was a child of God. So what you do to me, you do to him also. And in that moment of arrogance and, oh, yeah, she said we could videotape it. I said you could videotape it. I never gave you permission to release it. And I actually specifically told you I need to clear anything, and I'm not looking at any footage of me having surgery until I'm healed up and mentally okay to look at that.
Right. Till I'm in the space to receive that.
Right. And they did what the fuck they wanted to do. So
they didn't give a fuck.
And that is scary, Rios, because we have seen in the pandemic, people want to stop working. But now this has gone from, you know, fast food workers and, you know, people at Target and Walmart to now this is like lawyers don't want to work. Right. Doctors don't want to work. Like, people who are in charge of our actual healthcare, our actual housing, like our communities.
They don't want to be there.
We talking about the president popping out at a fake McDonald's. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is a shit show. And I think trying to digest everything that's happening, going on with this, and then everything going on with me at the same time is why I don't talk about it, because I'm like, this is unbelievable. And people got their own shit to deal with, you know? Like, but this is actually unbelievable that this is everybody's life. Cause I'm like, I know, like, I got a homeboy that paints. Me's got to go to dialysis. Like, I don't know if I don't think he's still doing it, but like he was, you know? And I'm like, people are sick. I was talking, my last check, her mom called last night. She's like, I need to go get a retainer. She's like, Mija, like my teeth, something's wrong. I said, when you sleeping and you wake up, I said, you have pain right here? She said, yeah. I said, what did they look at your teeth? She said, yeah, they're flat right here. I said, you're grinding your teeth at night. You have TMJ. I said, you need to get this, this, and this. She's like, how do you know? I said, because I have it. And it's just like, it's so sad. And people guys write me in like, I don't have no teeth either. We twins. Like, it's okay. But people who like, I don't have no money to get this fixed. And I'm like, why is it that you people are trying to kill us like this? Because I've seen the insurance. I broke down the insurance. I've called enough times to see the play. I'm like, y'all got these 30-day waiting periods for people. They just getting sicker and they getting sicker.
Getting worse, more paid.
Right. Oh, your claim's supposed to be done in 30 to 45 days. Well, in that 30 to 45 days, I could charge you a deductible twice. And then I could charge you for whatever you need in between that. And then, okay, cool. Well, the pharmaceutical industry, you got to sell this medicine. So y'all the legal drug dealers.
Right. You got to sell it to the doctors.
Right. So you getting their shit off so they could get their issue off and they could make sure we stay sick. Meanwhile, the insurance company is getting paid in the background for all of this, hoping that people don't look at this paperwork and don't call and file these appeals. And if, the claim don't get filed, file a grievance and file the corporate office and the Department of Insurance. People don't know this, but my mama taught me how to be very, very fucking smart, and not having a dad and having to be the older sister and learn more. If my mom didn't teach me this shit, I wouldn't know how to do none of this. I got a whole SVU looking room set up. All of my medical records from 2013 to now, all of my records from here now, like all the call logs showing I talked to y'all more in a year than I talked to my friends and family. I made hundreds and hundreds of calls to Blue Shield. So I got every call. So now when I hand it to a lawyer, it's like, why was she calling y'all all of this time? Okay, and then here's the
paper trail on their
Here's
ass.
the paper trail from every month that she was filing claims that y'all kept denying and denying. Then it's like, okay, here's the stuff that the dentist was paid. But then the dentist don't even know. His employees had already came to me. One of them came to me damn near in tears because I was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm getting my teeth. You're not here. You've been here with me the whole time. Why are you in dental school? You did like what? She was like, he's doing fraud and I didn't think he was going to do it to you. I said, what? What are you motherfucking talking about? Because you done met my mama and everything, bitch. So what did you say to me right now?
Oh my God.
She was like, you were exactly right. He moves too fast. He makes mistakes. He pulls people's teeth that don't need to be pulled. He'll tell them they need an implant. They never needed it, this, that, and the third. She said, but you guys were so cool. I didn't think he was going to do it to you. I said, what the fuck? You could have saved my life. Like, and you left to dental school. Like, but she was like, D'Janai, I had to leave before the fraud. Like, because if I got caught in it, and I understood that. I understood being in a position with somebody that you think is doing right. Because I have advocated for this man with Blue Shield, with the insurance companies, because like he has 2 locations and I've been seen at both of them. At the time that I first got hurt, I was by one of his other locations, but it wasn't in network. The LA location was. Okay. So I'm calling a company that certifies them. Now, mind you, I'm not supposed to be doing this because it's not my job. When are you guys certifying him? When are you guys putting his status in network? I need to be able to go to this office and get my treatment. Right. I'm driving all the way here. I'm on medication. I'm not supposed to be doing this.
You're doing day work.
Exactly. What? Literally. Only for him to have done this and his employees know that he's doing it and not say anything. On top of the fact that his employees were, after he did the shit that day and like cut the shit out, they threw away my molds that he took in surgery. Like literally I have to be under anesthesia and my gums cut open in order to get those molds. That's the only way you can get them. They threw them away. He didn't do nothing. So it was just like, there is so much happening and nobody is saying nothing. So I'm finna say everything because my silence didn't do nothing but literally break me. Like it broke me the fuck down. Like, and even showing up like this, people are like, how are you doing this? And I'm like, if I was the bitch on the internet crying, y'all be talking about how I'm the bitch on the internet crying. Right. So now I'm here and I'm just showing up. Like, cause whether I got anxiety or not, I'll come sit next to one of y'all. I'll tell Illa I'm not okay. Like, and she'd be like, okay. Like, remember I told you I was trying to figure out what I was gonna wear? Yeah. Like this entire time with my teeth, everything changed. I can't eat normal. I can't sleep normal, nothing. My weight has been a very serious factor and it's fluctuated. Okay, up and down. I'll lose 10, 15 pounds in 2 weeks, like, and not have exercised none, like I got sick in August, just a regular sinus infection. It lasted the whole fucking month. I was Dunzo, nigga. The last time I wore this shit was to TF shoot, the bounce rock one, you know, with the car.
Yeah.
And I put it on, and I hadn't seen Illa and them, and Illa knew that I was sad. And she was like, come to TF shoot, just come. Like,
yeah, just come hang out.
Just get out the house. And I was like, Illa, like, I look so skinny, like it didn't fit. And so this is the first time that I wore it since that it actually fit. Like, cause I didn't wear it after that. I was like, do I look skinny? And she was like, you look like you trying. It's okay. Like, we know, but these are just real things happening. And like, I don't know, bro. We here. You gotta show up. Like, you gotta show up. And even if you show up and cry, like, you gotta show up and, you know, talk. We're in a space where we talk. Like, so we have to talk about it, you know? And
it trips me, like, damn, like the cluelessness of men.
But it's like, not just men.
I'm talking about me right now. Not the per se to what you're talking about, but just of us, just me not knowing. And I could say this about my wife, like my wife. But you saying like your weight fluctuating and then not feeling proper in your clothes or this and that, not feeling good about your smile or your hair. This is things that I don't even process with my partner, with my wife, to even check in with. Like, this is like sitting down with you has like really let me know I need to do a better job. Like you said, check in with your daughter, nigga, and see if she's saying something's wrong with her. Check in, see what's wrong with her.
More so just believe her.
Believe her.
Believe her. Like,
I need to check in and be more available, or I don't know what it is. What I'm feeling.
I don't think that you're not available. And I always tell people that start to feel like this, like after these kind of conversations, like, damn, what did I do wrong? It's like, if you were a bad person that was actually doing something wrong, you wouldn't feel how you feel right now. Like, oh, how can I be better? You know? Yeah. You guys don't know. You guys walk into doctors' offices, and a male doctor is not going to say and do to you what he's going to say and do to us. They're not going to mansplain and you know, brush us off like how they would do to women. They're going to talk to you. Okay, bro, this was going on, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They know they can't bullshit you. And men judge women from how tough they have to be. But it was a guy that I was dating, and he was like, babe, like, I'm sorry. And I was like, what? And he was like, you are so tough. And he was like, you love me so sincerely, and you are so just careful with me. He's like, you come make me tea in the teapot, like, and you serve it to me. And he was like, I see this level of softness, and I don't understand this level of roughness until I'm seeing you out in the world now and seeing how you have to protect yourself. Right. I said, if I don't, I will die. My teeth completely fucking excluded. Like, yeah. Like, right. If I'm not this way, because it's like, no, our homeboys aren't thinking, oh, you know, ladies' night and everybody's walking to the car and maybe somebody gonna be at their car, and y'all aren't thinking that, you know, like, because y'all know if we there, ain't nothing gonna happen, and you're not expecting nothing to happen. But as a woman walking into an apartment complex, like, I done had men follow me down there. I was sitting in front of my car. No, I was sitting in my car with the windows down. The back window was up. Mm-hmm. The car was locked by the grace of God.
So front window down, back windows up.
And I'm sitting there on the computer. And I will go outside and be on the computer just because, like, I have never been like a work from home person. Okay. I want to go change the space out. I can't. And the house is like, I need to calm down. Like, you know, I need to chill. I would sit on the computer in the car for hours. This man walked right in front of my car, right past my window, this far away from me, tried to get in my back window. Tried to get in my back seat. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? And chased that nigga down the street. He didn't expect me to, you know.
Have what you had. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, nigga. You tripping. Then, but that's our reality. So that reality trickling off into the medical field was something that I never expected to happen, because I wholeheartedly trusted these people to fix me. Like, when I'm saying I had meetings and plans and dates and timelines, and we stuck to them. My management, hey, I need you guys to do this, this, and this. I'm gonna be unavailable this day, this day, this day. Make sure you get on my social media and post this. I'll give you the pictures, this. As soon as I get these teeth, I'm gonna be in pain for another 7 days, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna get these steroid shots, so I'm recovering a little faster. Book the photo shoots. The next 3 months, like, And then I seen the proof of concept that it was actually going to work, but then all this other shit happened, you know?
Other obstacles. Damn.
Right.
Throw a wrench in my fucking game, just like that.
I never knew that in every aspect of damn near everything, women have to protect themselves like that, which is why I try to speak life into women, like, as much as I can, because I'm like, we have to be superheroes, and y'all have to be superheroes too in your own right, you know? Which is why I am sensitive to, like, men, and I'm very, like, now, like, I've been the girl that's talked to men crazy. I will still talk to a man crazy, but I still have reverence for men now. You know, like, y'all have a very real struggle. Y'all can't walk outside without somebody trying to kill y'all, take something from y'all, everything else, like, which is why, like, you know, that meme, I don't give a fuck what these podcasts say, men need women and women need men. Like, that's a real thing. Like, I stand on that forever, because it's like, we are going to all be fighting a war forever to the day that we die. Just because you're a man and I'm a woman, and that's it. Like,
that's it.
And we have to come together in that aspect, because it's like, it can't be this disarray and like.
And like me saying what I was saying, like, I feel like there's been a divide, right? Like a communication divide.
Yeah.
And just you sharing and talking about the struggles of that you're going through in these doctor's offices, like, my homeboys will be mad, and it's like, we have to talk. We have to talk more. Like, we as a men and women, we have to stop being so far away from each other to where we're not hearing each other. Like, at least let's hear each other, like, and figure out what's going on, how we can help, because our women need it. They need the support. They need the support, and we have to be the support. Our women need us to support them. They shouldn't have to go outside or looking and go and searching. We should be not just volunteering it. It should be our walk.
Yeah. But sometimes that's hard. Like, it's hard for everything to be oppressive. And so I understand sometimes. And in order for there to be, like, real communication with, like, men and women, like, there has to be a certain level of trust. And then the trust gives vulnerability and everything else. But we're talking about two big hurdles that we got to get over before we can just talk.
Just get to the talking stage.
Yeah. And
what's up, Knucklehead? Just to the talk. Come here. I want to introduce you to someone.
Hi. Oh my gosh, that's mini you.
That's my Xander right there. You had a good day, Pops?
Yeah. He like, leave me alone.
Whatever. So that is, damn, we got to get over two huge obstacles just to get to talking.
And it's the thing is, like, there is a divide, and I think recognizing the divide is important. Conquering the divide is a whole nother war within itself before you actually get to the war. But I think if we start, you know, this is your family, like your son right there. Hey, bro, you okay? Mm-hmm. You had a cool day? Was anybody fucking with you?
Right.
What's your teachers doing? Because, like I said, it's not just women. It's not just men. It's not just little girls. It's boys, too. I had a homegirl. Now, her son is talkative. She's like, I know my son is talkative. So the teacher wrote, like, oh, I took his phone, whatever. So, okay, cool. So then he got in trouble another day. So Ashley, like, okay, let me see something. I took my son's phone. The teacher literally called and was like, "Oh shit!" He was doing X, Y, and Z in class, and this, that, and the third. I had to take his phone and she was like, "You know, it's funny. I have his phone right here. He didn't have his phone at school, and he just got caught up." And so it's like, it sucks because yes, there needs to be an open line of communication, but there's also, like, so much deceit going on at the same time that, like, you don't even know if the communication that you're getting from somebody is real, especially in our industry.
Right.
Somebody told me last night, D'Janai, you are a real person in a world full of people who are paid to be somebody else.
Exactly.
He was like, you are a truth seeker by nature, but people get paid to live a lie. And I'm like, okay, but I never made nobody feel like they got to lie to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll tell you, this is what I'm going through right now. Like, so you don't feel like you got to impress me or nothing, because I'm just a regular person like you. And people still lie. And all I can do is offer my vulnerability and offer, like, hey, look, like, I don't care how pretty you think I look. I'm the same person that go home every fucking day and I cry. And I feel the same emotions you feel. And you might say, oh, you're so this and you got all of these Instagram followers. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck about this. Like, I appreciate people who support me. I appreciate people who like my pictures and everything else. Because yes, it does equate to money if you do it the correct way. But at the same time, like, I was 10,000 likes before I ever got 10,000 likes on the internet. So if the internet turned off tomorrow, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I came from a generation where, nigga, the internet was a Earthlink CD and we fucking put that shit in there.
Right.
And we was hiding, trying to put a blanket over the tower so our mama didn't hear the Earthlink, like
exactly.
in the middle of the night. Like, I'm like, this shit still turns off. And people, they lost in it. Like, but it's scary, Rios.
Yeah.
And then with everything going on with AI, I'm like, I saw girls literally put their body in AI and change their body. But my fear with that is like, y'all still don't love who you have in the mirror. And I never condemn women for wanting to change anything on their body. Their hair, surgery. That's why I'm like, y'all want to go get BBLs? Just do it right. Just do it safe. Don't damn near kill yourself to do it. It's not that important, you know? But it's nothing wrong with accepting who you are and being like, I want something different. I want to look different. I want to do something different. But the world will condemn you to hell for being different. And it's like, I hate that so much about just people in any way possible. Like a complete stranger, like, look, you good who you are. Like, you want to change something? If I can help you, here you go. Here's, you know, like.
Yeah, exactly.
And people just aren't like that no more. And I don't even know where you tackle getting the truth. I don't even know where you tackle the vulnerability to say, hey, let's have a conversation. But I guess individually we have to start in our households, in our friendship circles and in our work circles and everything else. And then it'll trickle off from there. Like
the first attack is being it yourself.
Yeah.
It's like being like, how do we attack truth? Be the truth. How do we attack people not communicate? Communicate. Like be it like, and it's like, be the change you want to see, but be the change you want to see is like such a simple statement that it just like sounds like an easy thing. But when you say, how do you be strong? How do you make the world stronger? Oh, you got to be strong.
Which is crazy. Like it's crazy what it takes to be strong. And we're so not connected that like, whereas, you know, older people, you know, you walk in your grandma's house, what's wrong, baby? You know, like, you know something wrong. Like, you know, like. Because
they're in touch. Like, they're in touch on a different level. Like.
And now people are in their screens. Right. And now people are in their screens. And now people are, oh, let me get this and let me get that. And once I get this online, I'm going to feel better. And it's like, if you don't feel better about you before them numbers come, you're going to feel worse about you when them numbers come. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. Because now you got eyes everywhere. Like, and we deal with all type of shit. People saying all type of crazy shit. My friends are like, how? I actually had a doctor tell me, because he saw I showed him the thing. I said, 34 million fucking people on Easter went and laughed at this picture of me, of my teeth. He's like, that doesn't affect you. I said, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't give a fuck what they think about me.
Right.
If this finna make me some money, think whatever the fuck you want to think. He's like, there's no way that can just not affect you. I said, well, maybe you weren't popular, but I was. I don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah.
And he literally couldn't believe it. He was like, I think you're lying and this, that, and the third.
There's got to be something bothering you. There's got to be something wrong. Like,
right. I'm like, nigga, the shit that is wrong, you're not doing nothing about. So let's
focus on the problem at hand, on what you need to do.
Right.
And that's fucking real as fuck too. That's real.
But you know, I always tell people, this world is not for everybody. I don't give a fuck what nobody. You know how they're like, oh, go start a podcast. You don't know how much work a podcast is. As much work is it's going to take for you to go clock into that 9-to-5 job. Whether you are on camera or not, you still have to work your podcast. I watch Six do behind the scenes and all of this that people don't see him do.
Oh,
I'm like,
goodness.
Do y'all even understand like Six and Illa and what they do and who they are to this entire community of people? I'm like, this shit would not run without them. I'm like, the amount of work I see Six do going to this podcast, going to this studio, running this. I'm like, brother, how did you learn how to do this? He was like, I just been doing it forever and I just kept learning.
Do you know I am 43 years old, right?
We just learned this.
I'm 43. Six is a baby.
And that's why I'm so protective of him.
He is a fucking baby. And do you know Six might be coming here tonight to help me with some shit.
Good.
But I'm an old man that's calling the baby over like, I need you to show me how to store contacts in my phone. You know how like our older phone, like I can't get to this page on my phone. I'm stuck here. I'm literally asking Six. He said we're gonna set up a time tonight. Yeah, he'll come here and show me how to do this autopod thing or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's like I'm not even over there. And Six is so valuable that when any problem that I have with technology or anything, I text Six. And you know what he does?
Tap right in.
Tap right the fuck in. And I love that dude for that. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have to do that. And just Six gives me hope for the future. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if our babies are behaving, let me stop calling them baby. Our young men are operating in this energy, are they growing and they're gathering this amount of knowledge. If there was more Sixes, we would be so much better off in life.
But you know what I told Six? I said, Six, you are the product of what we didn't become. I said, because what you do, we used to be on MySpace, Black Planet, coding, full on fucking coding. These is real jobs that people went to school for.
Right, on MySpace, because you had to put the code in to get the...
Bro, I don't know how we learned how to do that. Like literally, and was doing it, changing the codes and everything else. Like, my Black Planet page, shit flying everywhere,
music and shit.
But he is the product of what we would have been had we never stopped that. Because imagine right now, if we had did that right now today, you still have been up to date on tech, you wouldn't need to call Six. But I told Six, I said, I will always protect you in this space in any way that I can and outside of the space in any way that I can, because not only do you have a good heart, but you are smart and you are in this circle of us, and we are proof of like what you can do and be or not be depending on whatever road you take from here. Right. I said, and I'm happy that even though it took everybody this long to get to this point, like however old we all are and everything else, I'm like, you're a good 8 to 10 years younger than us. So you don't have to learn and go through none of the bullshit we did. You will still have your trials and tribulations, of course, but if you need answers from our mistakes, we have that. We have that for you. Like
open books.
So soar, like please, like young man, soar and go wherever the fuck you want to go. And if anybody say anything like, what you gonna do to him? Because you're not gonna do nothing to him. Like absolutely fucking nothing. He gonna rap and you gonna sing it, and you better sing it. Like, and he gonna come to that podcast and he gonna run your podcast. Right. And if Six decide to go fucking road, ain't gonna be no fucking podcast because he could shut that shit down in the middle of everything.
Right.
Technically, and guess what? Ain't nobody gonna know how to turn it back on.
Right.
And that's I told him, I said, you cannot buy that. I said, you have wisdom that people don't have. You have wisdom that I need. So even my YouTube stuff, I'm like, brother, what is this? I'm like, what is all these marks with the numbers and people clicking them in the thing? He's like, they're called time this and this, that. I said, okay, look, now that I know what they are, I read that Who Not How book talking about find somebody who does it and not try to learn how to do everything, you know, delegate. And that's how you make dreams better. I said, look, I'm calling you, I'm paying you, and whoever else, whatever studio I can bring you in, I'm gonna bring you in there too. Like, because he's just such a great, good person. Like Dejan, I'm just like, I'm grateful to meet people who are good and don't have no mask on and shit like that. It's just like, bro, we all here trying to figure this shit out. Like, let's not lie to each other, you know? Let's help each other. Like, and I'm so grateful for him. I'm sure everybody is grateful for him. Like, because nigga, that shit that he do, the shit that he was doing at the 100th episode. I'm like, brother, what are you doing? He got the little camera right here. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like,
wireless.
I'm like, where's the screen? He's like, don't trip. I said, but it looks dark. Like, I'm looking at them. They look dark.
But it's bright. Oh, yeah.
So then he showed me the lights. And then he's like, look. And then he pushing buttons and like the screens. And I'm like, how did you? And he's like, I just know it.
He's dope.
Yes.
He's fucking dope.
Yes.
And
yes.
If I'm gonna get him over here, I got so many questions. I might handcuff that nigga here for all. Like, y'all might not see that nigga for a week.
Buy him some food.
Last time I know, that nigga went to Rios' house. That nigga ain't made him back.
I'm in Rios' house getting questioned.
These I need you to come get me. This nigga's crazy.
He'll be like, sis, Rios not feeding me. Come get me, please.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
But
no,
just to say, like, I am very proud of you. I really am very, very proud of you. if there's anything at any time that I can do or anything you need from me or from anybody, if I can do it, I'm going to do it. If I can't do it, I'm going to ask. I'm going to get it done. But just know that we're in this together, and I see you. I see all of the things that you're doing, what you're coming out of, what you've been through, and just know it doesn't go unnoticed and you're loved, and always going to promote, have your back, and always keep it 100 with you. And I want you to know that that's a fact. So
I love you for that.
Love you too. Okay.
I'm mad. You done elevated this part. Ain't no coffee mugs here. I wanted to bring my coffee mug.
Oh, look, I got the coffee thing holding my daughter's painting up.
I sure did have my mug at the house. I'm like, we got to do this again. I'm bringing the mug. I walk out the house.
We could do this again. We could, and you know what I think?
I'm bringing a mug to Ace Boys.
Let's go. Look, I want to bring you on the conspiracy theories, not the conspiracy theory stuff, but like the deep conversation shit. Because I really want to know how you got into the medium, how you found the medium, how that worked out, what the belief there, all that stuff, and black magic voodoo, and how it got the name, and how it's like gotten mixed up, and how it's from the old country and brought here, and people are using it, not telling us that they're using it because it's the right thing, not the wrong. Like, I want to get into all of that, and I think that you're a good vessel in the way that you explain shit. I think you'll be a good addition to that shit.
Well, we could do it because it's definitely a conversation, and it's definitely a conversation that people who, I'm not saying I don't believe in God, but people, we were taught what we were taught, and you know what we were taught.
That if you believe in that, you don't believe in God.
Don't burn no sage, it's witchcraft. You're gonna die. God gonna part the sky. And when I got to that point in life where it was like, oh, the church don't have no answers for you, and I'm God. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm writing God. What do I do? It was a different point, and it was like, God, I have not lost no reverence for you. Like, nigga, please don't strike me down because I'm talking to this lady. Like, I'm trying to get answers. Like, I'm asking you questions. Like, you know, so it's definitely a whole nother time and place of conversation. But I did have to dig deeper.
That's what we were. That was beat into us. That if you do that,
beat into us, literally beat into us. You cannot do this. Like,
because you do that, that means you have no faith in God. If you do this, that means you don't believe in God. You can't go here because you're telling God you don't have faith in Him. You're giving your problems to somebody else besides God. And that's what we were, like, they knew no better. You know what I mean? Like, they did as good as they could do.
Right.
But we can no longer be silly and not act like we don't have access to all this shit now. Like, we can read, we can figure stuff out. But, okay, so just to say all that, I'm bringing you back for that shit. And
I'm bringing my coffee mug.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go. And I'm going to have it set up to where it's going to be like 4 of us.
Oh, yeah.
2 of us be over there, 2 of us be here. And we just going to be throwing shit out there and seeing what sticks and just have a conversation about anything and everything. Because I have experiences with spirits, ghosts, shadows, like seeing them in real life.
That's just
demons.
Scary.
Oh, man. All kinds of shit.
You ever seen a devil on somebody's face before? Mm-hmm. That shit is scary.
Yep. He was driving next to us, like looking at us for like 3 minutes without looking at the road in front of him.
What did it look like?
It was like,
what did his face look like?
Like, you know how like they make like the demon's face like long, like a long chin, like that, like spiky like shit, and like it wasn't red or anything. It was like
his face still.
It was like not white, but like how that person's body color is.
No
way. It was like a color like that, and we were driving and. My cousin was like on the other side. And he was just like, just stuck face. I was like, what is it? And he was just like looking. I knew it was something outside.
So he was driving like this?
Like, no hands. Like he was just like this. And he was just looking like for 3 minutes.
Nigga, where was y'all driving that he didn't crash his car?
We were going down Imperial Highway.
But where was he going, not holding
we were going down Imperial Highway from Norwalk to La Habra. And back in the day, there used to be like a long strips before lights. And he was looking at us the whole time without looking. Like, we're not going to get into this right now. This is for the other show, man. This is reality check.
Cut these cameras off so we talk. Because what?
Yes. And that's just one story. I got a bunch of them. But I think there's something about however I was living or whatever was going on back in the day that I was being exposed and seeing shit and whatever. Like,
yeah, it's a different conversation, but it is a conversation that I always don't mind having, because I was that person that was taking people to church and, oh, you'll feel better, just go to church. And then I had to learn, like, no, that's not
it's
how
almost
it works.
Dismissive.
Yes, and I didn't know, because that's not how we were raised.
It's almost dismissive, you know what I mean? Like, no, just give it to her, let it go. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
and then it's
fine.
like, nigga, what's gonna happen when I get home and this is waiting for me and this paper is here? And like, I was like,
just have faith. Ye of little faith.
Bro, you see the side of my... I'm so mad. Like,
that's almost like Barbara Bush. Nigga, just say no, nigga.
Bro, and I would look at it like, just have faith. And I'm sitting here having faith, and faith is not having me. And I'm like, okay, this ain't working. Like, what? God? Like,
God? Do you see it?
What Kevin Hart say? Help me.
Like, oh my God. All right. So this is Reality Check, episode 12, 13, 11. Can't remember. But it was a dope episode with my girl, D'Janai. She came, she killed it. Came in her pink, blue. Look, I got the blue, you got the pink.
We are at a gender reveal right now for nobody's baby, but you know, could be a boy, could be a girl, you know, could be both.
Hey, could be both. Could be twins, we don't know. But this is the first of many times of her being over here to our house. We got our kitchen done, so we're going to be cooking and all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to be cooking. My wife said I had to start cooking more. So good. I'm going to be inviting people out. We're going to inviting people here and cooking and doing, but I'm inviting people that I want to be here. You know what I mean? Good. So you're definitely a part of our staples. So
you can come cook.
Yeah. Do you know how to cook?
I cook. The Pun just asked me that this morning, and I'm like, nigga, yes. Like, I've been cooking since I was in the 4th grade.
Oh, yeah. Let's get down. We're going down. Yeah. But this Reality Check, we out.
We out.